What's going on, guys? I've been working with Merrick Health now for 6 months. I want to tell you guys that if I had somebody like this when I was younger, I would have made better gains and I would have been much healthier along the way. This is a resource that I don't think a lot of guys starting out, whether they're young or older, should let go by the wayside, because this is not something that was always available to us. So having a provider like Merrick Health to look over your hormones, make sure you're taking the right things at the right times, you're not taking too much or too little, making sure they're going over your blood work and make sure your health is good along the way with those hormones is absolutely priceless. So what I suggest is you go to merrickhealth.com/RBP. It's going to take you to a page where I got my blood panels done. This is the page here. There's a blood panel here for $120. This is just a blood panel that you can get with 53 different biomarkers that'll tell you what your blood work looks like. But you're going to be reading it by yourself. This is more important. This is the blood panel with the consultation. They're going to look at more biomarkers, they're going to look at all your hormones, and a consultant will sit with you and tell you what it means for you when it comes to optimizing your hormones, but also making sure you're healthy along the way. Guys, please use this resource while you're bodybuilding. Don't just ignore your health. merrickhealth.com/RBP. Use code RBP for the 10% off on your first order, and keep healthy while you're growing. Bodybuilding is a great sport. We want to make sure we're doing it in the safest way possible. Hello.
Hola.
How are
Multilingual today.
the beard is looking thick, and like
thick.
it's sticking out of, like it's almost like you did one of these, like you kind of
No, I was training, I was taking my shirt off and stuff, it just kind of like
popped out.
Yeah, you know that.
My barber tells me I should do that, and I don't think it looks right. I feel like I should comb it down.
I mean, it just kind of happens. It just, I don't know. Yeah, you always have a clean beard though.
Do you ever?
Your head's always like perfectly shaped and rounded.
Yes, it's very round.
Like, yeah.
Do you ever trim this front part, or do you let it stick out?
I keep it under control. Like the barber, when he comes in, he's like, "What are we gonna do? Because if it stays, it looks a little thicker,
Right.
Sometimes when it looks a little thicker, you look stronger."
You think so?
Yeah, a little bit.
See, I like it when if you turn to the side, I like it when it goes like straight down.
Yeah, I'm not like, because if I turn to the side and it like comes out a little bit, it looks like my chin, like a little bit of a moon face.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about it.
Is that the look you're going for?
No,
No,
it just kind of happens all white trashy like that.
See, I don't want it to go like out. I just want it to go straight down.
Straight down.
Yeah. Okay. I just didn't know if like all beard guys were on the same page.
I don't know. There's some, every now and then you see a beard guy that you think you'd be Ray Finkel.
Who the fuck is Ray Finkel? I mean, I know who it is, but who the fuck is it?
Einhorn is Finkel.
Who the fuck is Ray Finkel?
Your gun is digging into my hip.
I don't know what movie is that. I don't know what that is.
Ace Ventura.
Oh, Ace Ventura. Fuck. Mike, since you have the biggest beard of the group, we were just talking about beard shapes.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing yours sticks out a bit. So is that on purpose? Like, when you turn to the side, do you like it when the beard goes like out a little bit, or do you want it to go straight down?
I think it's weird when it's like too formed.
Oh.
So I don't mind if it's like a little.
So you're saying mine's too formed. It's weird.
No, because yours isn't long enough to look. It's not like, it doesn't look like you straightened it. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like straight down.
Yeah. See,
you should follow your.
Watch. Let's look at some beards.
Yeah.
If I've shaved this thing off, I got quite the butt chin going on in there. Like I'll have to open it up to shave inside there.
Okay, let's take a look here. So I'm talking about like this. Is this good, or is this, Mike, are you saying it's too formed?
No, I like it. I'm not into like the whole like super straightening of I like that more. Like rounder, fuller. I think when your beard gets to like a certain length, it starts to like overtake your fucking
face.
Like it just becomes your whole personality.
See, I like this. I think this is like clean.
Yeah.
Seth, where are you? You're like you're not. No, that's
He's got a good shaped head.
Who does? Yeah. Who does this guy?
Yeah, great shape. Like
good profile.
This fucking melon of mine is just like It's just a big fucking awkward sized head.
Seth, this is kind of
LeBron's beard's horrible. Look at LeBron's beard.
Yeah, this is really bad. Why does he do this? Like, what is this?
He likes it.
You know, I never thought like the beard with the no mustache was a good look.
No.
I feel like
some people can pull it off. Not everybody. Not everybody.
I don't know if I recall saying this is a good beard. I'm jealous of this beard.
That's solid.
I don't have the patience to grow this out because, you know, like there's an in-between phase there. It's just like nasty.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience to like get to this.
Yeah.
And this is just
mustache too. Nah, my hair doesn't grow like that.
You know what I noticed?
You get the Rick Ross beard. You seen Rick Ross's beard? It's like drawn in.
Let me see. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Good. What are you guys doing?
Good. We're looking at beard
Seth.
shapes.
Beard shapes?
Beard shapes that we like. Yeah.
I like the Spartan.
You like I like the Spartan too. That's a good way to put it, Paul. You like this, Mike?
No, I'm saying that's like the over the top, like manicured, like crazy.
Yeah. This is too.
He gets that drawn in, like it's filled in with like.
Remember when my barber was doing mine like that for a bit? And you were like, it looks like I got a dick hole right here. I had to tell him to stop doing it.
The Spartan beard, as Paul would put it. Yeah, I'm all about that too. I like that, Paul. I could. And Mike, is this too manicured for you?
No, it's cool.
Okay.
I like beards, period. So, but I just on me, it's like I don't have the patience to maintain that. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of like wax and fucking.
Oh, there's wax, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Seth, I had a beard off and on all the way back in like 2012 or something like that, maybe less. But when it just became like super popular in what, like after 2020, 2018?
COVID.
Was it COVID that did it?
I think so.
I think once a lot of these younger cats like got older and were able to start growing beards, I think that's when it became like a super big trend, especially in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always wanted to have a beard, but back in the day, like my early 20s, dude, I couldn't grow a beard.
Really?
Yeah, me too.
I couldn't for the life of me.
With your fucking Italian heritage and that fucking, you couldn't?
I know. And then all of a sudden, like when I was in my mid 20s, all of a sudden, like I started just growing thicker facial hair. And I was like, well, that's about fucking time it happened. But yeah, then I let it get crazy big. Mine was insane for a minute. And it was like my whole personality. And I was like, I got to clean this shit up.
I can never do that because I don't like when I can feel it on my chest.
Yeah, or in my nose. Like when the mustache gets too long.
I always trim the stash so it doesn't go like too high. But I don't like when I can feel my beard on my chest. I'm like, it doesn't, or like if I'm on my motorcycle, it's like all blowing all over the fucking place. It's fucking weird. But
I struggle with mine.
You do struggle with yours a lot.
Let's talk about that.
You're always
serious there.
Let's
struggle with mine.
Why don't you open up to us, Paul? Tell us what's wrong with it.
Okay. So
here's safe space. This is safe space for you.
I feel like I'm safe. I can talk to you guys about this. So my dilemma is, I find if I don't have my beard, then my nose really stands out because it's pretty big. But if I do have my beard,
I see that.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, Mike. I got a pretty big one. And then when I do have a beard, then the white hair, then it makes me look older.
Yeah, but the white hair suits you. It does make you look older, but it looks good on you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like I'd rather have white. I'd rather have white than like salt. Mine's too salt and peppery if I don't dye it.
Okay, so let me ask you this then: you like a short beard on me or a long beard on me? I tend to go with a shorter beard.
I think you look good clean cut personally, but I don't know what these guys think.
I mean, I think you could go seasonal. I think you could go a little thicker in the winter.
I like that idea, Seth. Yeah. I never considered that.
That's an answer I didn't even expect. You'd have two different looks.
Right.
Wintertime Paul and summertime Paul.
Summer Paul, winter Paul. Yeah, I never thought about that, Seth. Thank you for that.
Neither one of them like soup.
No, or wings. Never will. Less with the beard though.
Oh, but wait, Paul, you have to admit.
If wings were put in front of you that night, would you have ate them?
The night we're out for dinner?
Yeah.
No, not unless there's nothing else that I could eat. No.
The soup thing is different than the bones thing. The soup thing, Paul, you can explain it. Go ahead.
The soup, I'd eat the soup over the wings any day.
Well, because the reason is the soup is like it's too high maintenance, like of a food. Whereas the wings, he's disgusted by the ligaments and the bone and all that shit.
And I'm gonna get really dirty eating those.
What if you had those the corn on the cob stickers?
Yeah.
You stuck it in the wing and you're like, you know what I mean?
That way, yeah. But still,
I I got to tell you, I went whenever we had the conversation a couple podcasts ago about the fucking overrated foods, but without even bringing it up to anybody in the office, ribs and barbecue came on the menu. They were like, "Yeah, barbecue and ribs are overrated." I was like,
Really?
Oh, no way.
Really?
"Yeah."
But
Yeah, that
okay,
was the
what's the age
topic.
group you're talking, Seth? What's the age group you're talking about these guys?
There was one in his like early to mid 20s, and then another one piggybacked it, but everybody was kind of like, yeah, like I could see that being in, and then we were like, why do you think they're overrated? And they're like, it's just like heavy, and then it's messy. And I was like, you're saying messy. No,
okay, so
Yeah.
wait, so I do agree with you about the ribs on. Sorry, go ahead, Seth.
we're Northerners. We're not from the South. Like we
That's
didn't grow
what
up
yeah.
eating barbecue,
That's right. That's right.
So
But I was gonna say, like, I kind of agree with you guys. Like, so I like ribs, but I won't go to a restaurant and, like, order them. But
Why?
well, just because it's like, you're right. It's a messy food. It's like,
Yeah.
you're not going to sit in a restaurant and, like, fucking have
Right.
barbecue sauce all over your face.
Right.
But when I was in Houston, Hunter brought us all ribs, like from this like barbecue place that he loves. And I'm like, it's overrated in the sense that I wouldn't get it every time. But if you get good ribs, then it's not
Yeah.
overrated.
Yeah.
That's kinda, that's
They're
kinda
great
how
when
I-
they like fall off the bone. You
Yeah.
don't have to like
Yeah.
gnaw at them.
Yeah.
Like so a couple since that podcast, a couple people sent me videos of or like sent me, like whatever, just like posts about like good ribs.
Yeah.
And man, like some of the videos they sent me, they look amazing.
Well,
I have to
remember
admit.
the one we put in the group? Those were lamb shanks. And I know you said you don't eat anything on the bone, but when they took the lamb shank and they cut the lamb off, remember they cut it all up, and you were
Right.
like, you would have went for that.
Yeah, for sure.
you don't eat anything off the bone?
Not no, I mean, okay, I will if I have to.
Look,
but
Mike, look, he feels bad now. He's gonna
Well, I sound like a pussy. I don't want to sound like a pussy.
No. But what about like a bone-in steak, like a delicious like bone-in ribeye or bone-in New York strip?
If there's another option on the menu, I'll go for the other option.
But that's where the flavor is, Paul.
Yeah, but it's all the shit too, Seth. All the gristle and
Paul doesn't like the steak fat, which is the
I
best
know.
part.
I don't
the
like it.
steak fat?
No. Like
Oh,
even like I will not eat. I shouldn't say I won't eat. If I had to, I would, but I'll never order prime rib.
Okay, but I was gonna say, like, I was gonna help you, Paul. I was gonna say,
man,
like,
look,
No,
you know the fat cap on like a New York strip.
different.
I
I'd cut
won't eat
that
that.
off.
I won't eat that. But on
Right.
a ribeye or prime rib, that fat's different. It's like actually like flavorful.
It's marbled into it, right?
A little bit, but even
Yeah.
even just the fat, even if you get a chunk of it, like it tastes different.
Oh no, I hate it. No,
no,
it's a texture. It's totally a texture.
for Paul.
It's my mom. My mom did it to me when I was a kid. My mom would like I was the youngest one, and my mom wanted a girl, but she got me. So my mom really babied the fuck out of me. So she would like trim my meat like just perfect, and like
Paul, is that why me and you were mama's boys? Because my mom did the same thing. She had three. She had my sister, then she had three boys, and then 6 years later, she's like, "I want to have a girl," and they had me.
my mom grew my hair long when I was small. Like she really wanted me to.
I didn't get the transgender treatment.
This is
I
getting
was,
really deep right now.
No, I actually look really cool, like Fabio, like a young Fabio. But
Yeah.
Man,
course.
yeah, she was definitely trying to make me into something I wasn't.
What
But yeah,
were we-
I think she softened me up too much.
what were we talking about before the fucking food? Oh, we were talking about beards.
weird.
Okay, so the shaving the beard thing, it's rare that you see anybody with a fucking shaved face anymore. Like, think about the open men's bodybuilding, not when they're on stage, just like off-season bodybuilders. Is there any that like don't have fucking beards? I can't think.
Antoine.
Brett Wilkins.
Antoine, Brett, yeah, they
Brett,
go.
Derek,
Yeah. Derek,
Does
we have
Justin
Derek.
Rodriguez have a beard?
think so.
I think I've seen it in the off season, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. But you're right. But Derek's like the cleanest cut guy in the
Yeah.
world. Like
yeah.
he's got like Superman hair and like
Big Ramy never had a beard.
that's true. Oh, maybe there's not as many as I thought. I feel like for a while I felt
I agree though. It does think like you feel like everyone has one now, but there are some exceptions still.
Yeah. Seth, you took third last week in the
Did I?
in the points on the Arnold Classic.
Who won?
Ian won. Me and Jay took tied for last. And everybody in the comment section let me know it. Because I tallied up.
Did they also tell you how? Did they also give you shit about commentary?
So in person, I received a lot of positive feedback about the commentary. Online, I've received some, "Oh, you were too biased." But I have to explain.
I will say this. I thought you did a great job.
Thank you,
I
Seth.
thought that you did a great job, like as a representative of the bodybuilding, like meathead community that is we love bodybuilding and have such passion for it. I thought you did a great job of commentating as the voice of the internet of bodybuilding here, because
thank you, brother.
the podcast that you have and how like much attraction it gets in the views and everything, it's legitimately a community of like conversation and everything, and just living in this environment. And I mean, I think a lot of people, whenever they get the opportunity to commentate, they try and go too perfect,
too technical.
And it's like there's got to be that thing that like what you like, and because that's what makes, I think, bodybuilding so fun is like there is going to be some bias. Like I know that I'm biased for some some competitors because I like their physique. I really like the way they look, draws me in, and I'm like, man, that's great. But you got to remove that bias to some degree, but it's never going to be completely, because even whenever you watch people online and listen to what they said about what they thought, and you're like, man, like that was, but you're being a little biased maybe.
You can see that in every sport though. Like Joe Rogan could be biased towards a guy, or fucking NFL announcers could be like biased towards a team, and you can tell that they're kind of rooting for that team. So if it happens, it happens. People have preferences, right?
I thought the show was incredible. I thought the Arnold Classic was great just because like there were people that fucking nailed it and didn't see it coming. There were people that fell apart, like horse fell apart. But De La Rosa like really brought it. Like, dude, I thought it was a great show.
Can I touch on something before we move on from that? I just want to, because there's a lot of fucking negative comments on the last podcast, so I feel like I should address what you just said. So there is a bias towards Samson. People think it's because he's a hostile athlete. Maybe, but it's more because I like Samson and I think he's a really good person. And first and foremost, I absolutely love his physique. What people don't understand is I was praising Samson's physique before anybody knew him. Like, that's why we signed him, because I was like, look at this guy's fucking physique. He's going to be phenomenal. And for those who don't believe me, they can go back and watch the podcast I did with Luke before he was ever a hostile athlete. He was 5th place. I can't remember what show it was, but he was 5th or 6th place in the show. And I was like, I said to Luke, man, that guy from England, I didn't even know his name at the time. I'm like, that guy from the UK is fucking incredible. And he says, Samson. I said, yeah, that guy. And then we signed him shortly after that. So I've been biased about Samson's physique for fucking 4 years now. So the bias first comes from me actually liking his physique. 2 comes from me thinking he's a really great person and I'm rooting for him. And 3, he's a hostile athlete. So, but the one thing people need to realize, and Seth, I'm sure you can attest to this, whether Samson takes 1st or 2nd or 3rd is not going to affect hostile sales or like how we do as a company or what. So if I want him to win, it's not like because I'm like, oh, hostile is going to be on top. No, it's just because I want him to win because I like him and he's a good person and I like his physique. Now, the second thing I want to say really quickly, you guys kind of don't know what happens behind the curtain. The production manager before the show came up to us and he said, look, last year you guys were kind of bickering about placings and people seem to really like it. So I'd like you guys to kind of do some of that if there's room for it. So during the broadcast, I was like, okay, so I noticed Dennis right away went to Hottie. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm already biased towards Samson anyway. So I'll take the opportunity to do that. Like, okay, we're going to go tit for tat on this whole thing, right? So there's a little bit of that at play as well. And I think, look, I have no problem admitting my bias, but I also have no problem trying to be as subjective as possible. At the end of prejudging, I did say Hottie looked like he was clearly ahead. The reason I said it was close is because they went 4 rounds back to back, and I've never seen that. And the reason I said Rafa wasn't close is because Rafa wasn't included in that call out. It was just Samson and Hottie. In my opinion, watching other shows when they judge, if the 3rd place guy is close, they would do a 3-man call out. So that's where I got my opinion from, not from my bias. So I just want to clear that up before we move on. Anyway, Seth.
You know, I was just going to say, you still have to make it a show.
What do you mean?
That's your job.
Oh, no, I know. Well,
you still got to make it a show. And like, I could imagine they said that, but I mean, I don't know. It's supposed to be, a lot of people, you know, it's the internet and you can always expect some kickback about anything.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be fun. Like, we doing this is the fun of people's days. They look forward to a podcast.
Right.
They look forward to any release of something that you guys would do, or I would do, or anything. That's part of what we're supposed to do. And whenever you get the opportunity to commentate the Arnold or be a part of any big show, dude, you go all in and have at it and like feed into the energy and have fun. And if somebody's got something to say, it's all right, cool. Next time when you do it, it's like, all right, this is what I think is going to happen. And you're like, fuck, this is great. Like, just have fun. That's the whole point.
That's the other thing too about the podcast. And somebody commented in the comment section about me and Ian arguing. That's part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I will play devil's advocate. Paul, I do this in real life with Paul.
Oh,
I'll argue for no reason just to have a fucking debate.
That's fun.
just to fuck with me. He does it all the time.
So but I do think that the show, like I remember whenever we were first picking, I was like, man, I remember John looking crazy at that show whenever he was with Hunter. And then I moved him out and I'm like, son of a bitch.
You had him, I think you had him in fourth. When you first put him in there, yeah.
That's what we always say. Like, it all depends on who shows up in what shape, you know. Like it's just like that's why you play the game, you know.
Yeah.
I was really upset though. I was commenting on stuff on the Instagram because people were killing Horse. People were killing him, and I'm like, guys, I was like he's not an Instagram bodybuilder.
Right.
He had a phenomenal showing. That's how he got the hype. Like he got the hype because of his previous show, and he did look crazy on Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's like he had a bad showing on a massive level, and it's like, all right, dude, back to the drawing board, dude. But that didn't make him a bad bodybuilder. And I'm like, it's
what
crazy.
Is he, 24?
No, I think is he? I think
he's in his mid-20s. I think.
I thought on that podcast we did with him, I thought he said
Maybe
he was like,
right. Maybe you're right.
He's very young.
But I was like,
cut you off, sorry.
I'm thinking that all these, even the people that were commenting like these negative things, I'm like, you guys are competitors.
Right.
Like you guys know how hard it is. You are literally trying to catch lightning in a bottle on show day. Yeah. Like that is what you are trying to achieve. And it is so difficult. And sometimes you know it, and sometimes you miss drastically. Yeah. And he just missed.
Yeah, I don't know. The commentary seems to be getting, and I don't know, maybe this is just me because it's what I see, but the commentary on physique seems to be getting harsher than I ever remember. Maybe I'm just misremembering what it used to be like, but like
is it just the trolls though?
No, I think that they're super loud because I don't know, I'm emotionally involved in bodybuilding again so deeply that I'm like, whenever I see something negative, it like really sticks out to me. Yeah. But I don't know.
I just wonder if it's just trolls mainly, or if it's people trying to get views too, or clicks, or attention.
I think it's cool when people share their opinion. It's a sport, right? If you're watching if you're watching a football game, if you're watching UFC, you share your opinion. Like so and so is not a great fighter, the other fighter's better, whatever. I just think sometimes it seems like it gets like deep, like there's some deep seated shit being
like
said
online. You mean?
Yeah, being said about people. I'm like, holy fuck.
Well, there's a lot of people that are very unhappy with themselves. Would love for you to be as unhappy as they are, right? So
Misery company.
Yeah. Well, anyway, as far as Horse goes, the only explanation I have for that is I think people were expecting something, and me, I'm actually one of these people. When he did the Prague show or Romania, I keep messing that
overseas.
Up. Yeah, one of them overseas shows.
One of those obscure European countries.
Don't say that.
What's the capital? What's the capital?
I can't remember.
Of which one?
Romania.
Romania is Transylvania.
Oh, it's not.
No, I don't think it is actually.
You just made that up.
What the fuck?
It might be Budapest.
Transylvania. Move on. Let's go.
Next question.
It might be Budapest.
Capital of Romania. Let's see if Paul got it.
Paul, you said something.
What'd you say it was, Paul?
I said two different ones. I said Transylvania.
Yeah.
And Budapest.
And is that your final answer?
Isn't Budapest in Hungary?
I'm not sure.
Budapest is Hungary.
Is it? Fuck. I knew it was Eastern Europe.
It is, though. You're close. It was Bucharest.
Bucharest, yeah.
What do you mean?
I knew it sounded like that.
Close enough.
Paul made an outlandish claim at our dinner on Sunday in Ohio, where he said he could name the capital of every state in the U.S.
Well,
we're gonna test that.
And I tried to do that on the way home, and I failed so fucking bad.
What percentage did you get?
I didn't even get. I think I got I couldn't even tell you. Maybe 20.
Really? I can beat 20.
I don't think
I'm confident I can beat 20.
I'm not even sure I can do 20.
I'm confident I can get
Wait a minute. Seth is the only American here. Do you think?
I don't know if I could get this was like a big thing for me. I used to love geography.
Yeah.
Oh, you're at battle with Paul.
It's an
Paul
Italian.
Well,
It's an Italian.
you've met your match
Yeah,
tonight.
we're like soul brothers. We're like soulmates.
I think Soul Brothers. I mean, I probably think I think I could probably get 35, 40.
You want to
Out
try?
of 50.
Um,
Rapid fire.
Wait. USA map.
Let's just do best 10 out of 10. You pick random 10 for each guy.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do a random 10. Okay.
You're gonna pick the hard ones for me, Fouad. You can't do that.
Oh,
You
no,
gotta go
no,
off
I
that
won't.
order.
I'll be. I swear,
Fair. Go off that order.
I swear to God, I'll be fair. Okay, Paul, you want to go first for your first? Mike, are we doing 1 and 1? Or are we doing 10 and then 10?
oh man,
We should do 10 and 10. Well,
I
you're
got an
gonna
idea.
have to split the list.
How about Jeopardy style?
What do you mean?
What does that mean?
Like, okay, you say the state, first person to give the answer.
Oh, okay. Paul.
The capital of Washington is
Okay.
Seattle.
Stop.
Oh.
We haven't started yet.
it's not.
Okay, ready? All right, Seth, are you good with those rules? Seth?
yeah.
I'm good with
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Oh wait,
Man, I'm blanking out right now.
wait. I don't have
It's pressure, Seth. It's pressure.
Wait, I gotta pull up a different. I gotta.
What can we just pose off and like not use our heads?
Yeah, Seth. This is gonna be bad if a Canadian beats you.
I
Oh,
know.
man.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like my heart rate's up. I'm fucking
Don't worry.
horrible.
Don't worry, Seth.
I should
I'm
have
probably
studied.
not
I
getting
didn't
no idea.
know.
I should have studied. Okay, here we go. Okay,
Okay, I'm ready.
capital of Alabama.
Gainesville. No.
Birmingham.
Wait, you only get one. You can't just guess again.
Okay,
Once you
okay,
answer, that's your
okay,
answer.
okay.
So that's both your
Gainesville's Florida.
both your answers are in 0. Okay. Capital of Hawaii.
Honolulu.
Seth 1.
Fuck. Couldn't get it out fast enough.
Capital of Kentucky.
Lexington.
Seth, what'd you say?
Frankfurt.
Seth number 2.
Really? It's not Lexington?
No.
So
We've
many
gotta
of them are
fact
not
check
what you
this,
think.
too.
So many of them are not what you think.
Really? Fuck.
Capital of New Jersey.
Newark.
That's right.
What's Seth say?
Trenton.
It's number 3 for Seth.
Fuck, Seth is killing it.
Capital of North Dakota.
Bismarck.
Oh, Paul.
Oh,
He nails
fucking
it.
pulled that one out.
Yep.
Capital of Virginia. Seth, you should know this.
Langley.
The
Why am I
popular song just came out.
blanking?
All right, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2.
Charleston?
No. Okay.
No.
It was Richmond.
Richmond. Fuck. Damn it.
Capital of Wisconsin.
Madison.
Holy shit.
Fuck
Paul.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You'll be proud, dude. All right, Paul. Making
I
us
got no one to high
proud.
five with.
The Canadians. You know?
Yes.
Capital of Texas.
Austin.
Oh, 4 for Seth.
It's not Houston?
No,
No.
It's Austin. If I say yes, that means he was right.
You sure?
He second guessed me every time.
I don't know for sure about that.
Capital of California.
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Seth got it first.
Yeah. Fuck, see, I don't get them out fast enough sometimes.
Capital of Florida.
Tallahassee.
Seth.
Damn it.
Capital
You
of
gotta
Illinois.
go middle of the country.
Okay,
Yeah,
Hard middle of the country.
capital of Kansas.
Topeka.
Topeka.
Seth.
Whoa.
Like that was, I had to at least draw
Yeah, but he
that.
got it. No, he got it before you. I'll rewind the tape. He
Yeah.
said Topeka.
That was neck and neck.
No, it wasn't, dude. He was
No, it's
beforehand.
Topeka.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah.
In my head, it was way closer to that.
Okay, Paul, I'll give you one. Capital of Michigan.
Lansing.
And Lansing.
Oh, Paul got one.
Yes. I was waiting for that one, actually.
Capital of Nebraska.
Lincoln.
Oh, Paul, making a comeback.
You son of a bitch. I was like,
Capital of Oklahoma.
oh,
Tulsa.
No. Seth.
oh.
5,
Oklahoma City.
4, You can't
Keep
guess again.
I'm sorry.
5, 4.
Oklahoma City.
Yes, Seth. You gave him the
That does count. I
You
gave
gave him
Seth
the answer. You can't
Fuck.
answer twice.
That
I
one
don't know
should
why I
really count.
blanked on that one. Middle of the country's got me.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Paul. You gave him the answer. It's not my fault.
I should get a half credit for that.
Okay, we'll give you half. Okay.
Okay.
Paul's got 4.5.
Okay.
4.5.
Let's see. Capital of Montana.
Oh, I know this. Fuck. Just keeping me.
5, 4, 3.
Helena?
Yes.
What is it?
Oh my God. Helena.
Helena.
Or Helena. Helena. You know what I would say.
I would have known that.
Okay. Seth's down to game point.
So what's the score?
It's a 9 to 4.5.
Really? Is that much of a lead? I thought it was way closer than that.
Hey, Paul, I'll throw you a fucking lifeline. All right.
Yeah, throw me a lob.
Capital of Georgia.
Savannah.
No.
No.
Seth, game point.
Columbia.
No, wrong.
Atlanta.
No, it is Atlanta. You should have said Atlanta first.
I got a half point.
Fucking-
Okay, we'll give you another
I
half.
get a
Paul's-
half point. I get a half point.
half point to
That was fun. We should do that again sometime.
It's not done yet. He's got
Not over yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
get one more. Fucked up.
Okay, should I give him an easy one, Mike, or a hard one?
Give
Hard
him
one.
north. Give him northeast.
Oh,
Capital of Maryland.
Baltimore.
No.
Oh,
5,
Nothing.
4,
Nothing.
3,
Drawing a
2.
blank.
Annapolis.
Annapolis.
I would have known that.
Capital of New Hampshire.
Delaware.
Oh.
No.
It's on state.
New Hampshire is
That would mess me up.
Ask him Delaware next because you know he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2. Answer.
Montpelier is
No, it's Concord.
Concord. Montpelier's Vermont.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a super fucking easy one. Okay, it's gonna be whoever says it first.
Okay.
Capital of Ohio.
Columbus.
Boom. Seth got it.
Couldn't get it up fast enough again.
Damn it.
It's the weed smoking. It slows you down.
Just a hair. Just a hair too.
I was waiting for like fucking Maine,
I was gonna say Maine when it was on there.
Augusta,
I was expecting New York.
We could do
Albany.
next time we can do populations. Look at this. This site's pretty cool. It's got
Oh,
everything.
I know population pretty good.
Well, next time. But it's got all the states,
I know.
capital. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, nail population. Nice. That's my wheelhouse.
You guys
No,
should have
so-
bet on that. That was good. You only lost by 5. I thought he was gonna crush you.
Yeah,
I know. I was blanking out. I got my heart rate still up.
I'm starting to sweat.
Well, you're carrying Seth. You're carrying an entire nation on your back. You had. To,
I know,
That was
I
a-
know.
That was a
I
big deal.
tested you a little bit though, Seth. It's almost like
Whenever
like a
I
Rocky
was a
fight.
kid, I just found it super interesting. Like the state birds, state flower. I do not know why I liked it so much.
Were
but,
you one of those kids that could just rip them off like all 50 states and shit?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really, eh?
Like I loved it. I don't know. It's
It's cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because Seth, you didn't get a chance to weigh in on last week's Arnold. Did you think before we go over each guy, did you think any of the placings should have been different than they were?
No, I mean, I thought they were pretty solid overall. I thought Tyler did a good job explaining like why and what happened. It's nice to see that they are judging.
Yeah.
Both sides of the show. I thought Rafa was the surprise. In my opinion, I thought he was the surprise of the show overall. Whole 100%. Like that dude brought it.
Yeah.
He brought what he was showing on Instagram and brought it to the show.
Yeah.
I thought I was upset for. I thought James crazy hard. I mean his physique. I'm expecting him to be better at the UK show.
Where do you think James went wrong? If you think he went wrong anywhere,
I just think
why do you think maybe he did get fourth or third or second or first? Like, what do you think held him back to fifth?
I just don't think he brought his best. I don't think it was his best. I think in order for him to move up, it would have had to been, he would have to have gotten that much better.
More conditioned. Is that what you mean?
Detail.
Because muscularity wise, he was full and round, I thought.
Yes.
But do you mean you wanted more polish? Like you want more condition?
I think in order for him to step up, because he doesn't have that crazy, that crazy popping full, his wow factor is in his crazy density.
Right. Right.
And I think that he needs to be a little, I mean, he's never going to have that Phil Heath pop. And somehow if he can achieve that, I think that, I think he will over time of figuring it out. But I think that,
so are you saying like he's not going to have a Phil Heath roundness? So you're like, he's got to get Branch Warren grainy.
Yeah.
Is that kind of where you're, okay. That's kind of what I thought you were saying, but okay.
Yeah.
So you're thinking James will bring that to the UK.
After some of the pictures I just saw, I think that he's going to be better at the UK.
Yeah.
That, the pose he just posted the other day, I think that he'll have more of that grainier, harder, ignorant look. Because I think that's the only way that that's how he would have stayed in that third, fourth realm.
Here.
Yeah, that.
You know what I think I said on the last podcast, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, Seth, but you know where I think James gets lost a little bit is the front relaxed, I think hurts him.
Yes.
Because if you see here in the ab and thigh, you see nice detail in the serratus, you see nice detail, not deep abs, but you see some detail in the abs, right? I think when he pulls up for the front relaxed, he stretches out that ab wall and it kind of makes his abs look shallow. And I feel like that's actually hurting him.
Because he's not going to get crazy full, popping round like Phil. Like in those pictures, dude, pull those back up real quick.
Yeah.
Like super round. Look at that. Looks great, but there's the graininess. If he brings more of a grain, if he brings it in a little harder, I think that'd be a much more wild shot.
Yeah. Do you wonder sometimes though, Seth, and I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but do you wonder sometimes if the 4K photo takes away from what the live shot looks like? Because if you look at him here,
that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying this picture, he has it there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm like, when you look at them off stage, like a camera, like a phone camera, it's almost like you get a little bit more. And then when you look at maybe, I don't know. And then when you get the 4K, which is supposed to be the most detail, it's almost like, I don't know if it's the lighting or maybe it's just,
it's too dark.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just feel like nobody ever, except for Hottie, looks like stripped out in these really close up 4K photos.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I can't wait to see it in person up close from a judge's table this time.
Yeah. So Seth, you think if he brings the same package, but dry and grainy, kind of like here, you're expecting a better showing from him?
I would think, I would have thought it would have been, I think he would have stayed in those top spots.
I mean, if you look at that, you're like, see what I mean? I guess that's kind of what I'm saying. When you see it close up, you get one version. And then when you see it here, and obviously the lighting's different, but you get this different look.
I personally want to see James do 2 or 3 shows in a row, even before. I want to see him. I think he's the kind of guy that's going to get harder the more times he dries out and comes down. And I thought the same thing last year. Remember what show did he do last year where he just did the one and out again?
Last year he didn't. Last year he was off the whole year because he was putting.
I'm sorry, 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago then? At the end of the year, he just did one show and that was it?
No, I thought he did 2. I thought he did at the end of the year, I thought he did 2 shows because he lost to Andrew, didn't he? He lost to Andrew at I can't remember what show. He lost to Andrew and then he won France, I think.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember thinking at one point, I wish James would do another show or 2. I feel like he would get better as he went. Yeah, but I feel like the same way this year.
But I think Seth is right. He'll be better at the UK because
I
think especially when you're coaching yourself, I know him and Milos didn't work very closely together the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Especially when you're coaching yourself, you kind of figure out what to tweak on your own. And then if after the UK, he said he might be doing Detroit.
Right. Yeah.
So he'll have even longer to get ready.
And he's at home. I think that's going to help him being home right now this week.
Be more relaxed. Okay.
Right.
So
the only other one that really bummed me out was Anton.
Why? I thought he looked good.
He looked great. He started to flatten out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, son of a bitch. He had it. He had it at prejudging. He had it, and then it just pulled hard. And
there's
like I'm biased towards him because I like him and I'm a huge fan of his physique. If he would have been able to bring that crazy fullness, like I'm hoping that he keeps competing to bring it because I wanted to see it happen. I'm a huge fan of his physique.
I think everybody's a huge fan of his physique and his personality and his story. But if we're talking strictly physiques, I still don't see the center of I don't see the torso being thick enough to stand with some of these other guys. He's got crazy legs, awesome fucking shoulders, but I think the chest and back need to come up to match.
He needs to get thicker for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean,
can I tell you the one guy, like James made great progress, but the one guy out of the lineup that took a year off, that actually made progress of somebody that took a year off was Rafa. Because James took a year off, Antoine took a year off, and they look better. But the one who made the biggest jump out of the three guys that took a year off is probably Rafa. Mm-hmm. Who else at the show upset or surprised you?
Kim.
Kim, the second night was surprising as fuck, though.
Mm-hmm. Dude, he looked nasty night two.
The second night, I remember thinking in the live stream, I'm like, I think I'm saying too much about Akeem. I'm like, because the second night when he came out, I couldn't take my eyes off him. Like, guy looks like a fucking X. Just like
he's gonna be a force at this show too.
Well, I want to actually bring these up because the last photo he posted.
Yeah, because the lineup's minus Rafa and a couple other guys, isn't it, this week?
How are you doing it?
From last I saw it, it was undetermined.
We don't know yet. I think Hani's gonna pull it out and get in there.
I don't think he should do it. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, you know. Dude, he's lacking the lower lat, but it almost like works for his body. It's like,
and then, dude, his hams and glutes. Look at that tie-in.
Yeah,
that is.
Look at this shit.
It just looks great.
Yeah, I think he had the best side chest in the show.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Yeah, wild shit. I actually wonder, like the Saturday night, he looked a lot better, and they had him in 4th place, but he obviously slipped because Friday night he wasn't as hard. I wonder, would he have been battling Rafa if he looked the same way on Saturday night as he did on Friday? Or sorry, the other way around. If he looked on Friday the way he looked on Saturday.
Because he probably would have jumped ahead of John, I would think, right? If he would have looked the same on Friday or Saturday.
They had him ahead of John on Saturday. So I'm assuming that. But would he been? Is he polished enough to get ahead of Rafa, or is Rafa too polished?
I would have liked to see that comparison. Those guys go a couple rounds together.
Because it's almost like Rafa has like the perfect insertions and perfect physique, and Akeem has like just nasty fucking
muscle,
dense muscle. Yeah. So like, Seth, what do you think about? Is that a comparison that can be made, or is Akeem
I think they would have. I think they would have compared it very, very hard on Saturday. If Friday he showed up like he looked on Saturday, I think they would have went super hard on Saturday with it. Yeah, it would have been known that that's where it was.
That's funny. Akeem's another one of these guys that I'm always rooting for to come in shape, just because I know what he looks like when he took 6th at the Olympia. He looked fucking awesome. So I think it's like everyone's just waiting for him to bring that back, and it looks like those last update pictures. He looks like he's there. Like,
and Akeem he comes around every once in a while, then you don't see him for a year. You know, he comes around again. You know, Paul,
you're fucked this weekend.
This is a fucking good show. I know, man. But
I didn't look at the lineup. Are there anybody that's doing the UK that didn't do Columbus?
No
new entries. I don't think.
There's guys not doing it, but the guys that are doing it are all the same.
Like, who's not doing it? Fouad, Rafa, and who else?
Rafa's doing Brazil.
Horse,
I think, is out. Hottie, we're not sure is going to make it. I personally think Hani will get Hottie there before the deadline.
Yeah.
Rubiel is on the poster, but Rubiel's not doing it. I'm trying to think of anybody else who did Ohio. I know
John,
James, Antoine are in. I don't know if Justin's going too. I think I saw some update photos. And Mo's doing it too, yeah. So I think the only ones not doing it are the Brazilians. Sounds like.
For sure, and maybe Hottie,
and maybe Hottie if he doesn't make it.
Is everybody on? I mean, if Hottie doesn't do it, Samson.
I don't like. Me and Ian got in a big argument last week about Rafa and Samson. Rafa's not doing the show, so that argument doesn't need to be had again. But I think the closest person to Samson isn't really close in this lineup if Hottie and Rafa aren't there.
So that's what makes it interesting. I think the next person closest, if he comes in the same as Saturday, he's probably might be Akeem.
Akeem or
Because
John.
Akeem's got that much muscle, like that. He's
or James, but
next,
James too. But if
if James brings in the conditioning, yes.
Like those three guys, James, John, and Akeem, all can battle.
Right.
The thing is, though, and this is a tricky thing. Samson is going through a little bit of a tough time right now because of him and Milos splitting. And we don't know how that's going to affect his look. Now, Mel has helped him with his peak before, his wife. So I think they're going to be fine. But could the drama be enough to like be a shock to the system? Plus, he was sick earlier in the week. He had to take antibiotics. So if Samson's off, which I don't think he will be, then somebody might be able to jump in. But I think Samson has to be off for one of those guys to jump ahead.
For sure.
That bro hasn't taken time off in a long time.
Well, he took time off after the Arnold, but the problem with Samson taking time off after the Arnold was he did
the Olympia.
No, like last year's Arnold. So
last year's
the 23 Arnold he did, and then he took time off. But the time he took off, a lot of it was spent traveling. Like the first 2 or 3 months after the Arnold, he did a lot of guest appearances on his own. He did a couple for us. And then I think in June he shut it down, and then July he started dieting for the Olympia. So he didn't really have time at home to just rest and like not go anywhere and not. But he loves traveling. He loves like meeting people and like going to these guest appearances and like.
He's probably been the busiest bodybuilder in the last 2 or 3 years.
You know, people keep telling me he needs a rest, and I don't know if I would dispute that, but it's just the way the guy enjoys it. You know, him and Urs, I had him and Urs on the podcast together, and they were going back and forth talking about how much they love traveling and going to different cities and meeting new people, and like it's just the way they like to do it.
It doesn't hurt either one of their progress.
So. Time off. He did how many shows last year after the Olympia?
No,
3 more, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he did Romania, and then
he did two
or three.
2 or 3. But yeah, I was like, I was just thinking, I'm like, man, this dude's been fucking, and that's what it's good for bodybuilding. But then it's like with this, it's I have high hopes for what the sport is going to be doing in the next several years. Because, dude, if Samson is able to get to the level that everybody believes he can, like the top spots, the top 3 people in bodybuilding, Hottie, Samson, and Derek, will legitimately battle it the fuck out and create.
I think you're forgetting somebody.
Oh, you are right. I am, because that motherfucker's going to fuck New York up.
Dude,
Nick Walker is going to scare a lot of people in New York.
Nick looks like he's gone another level, man. Like, you know, what's funny is when you have weaknesses, and I know, Mike, you might not agree with this, but I think when you have weaknesses, if you get fucking big enough, the weaknesses start to disappear.
Like, I wonder if like, because Nick does look quite a bit bigger in person. Like what I saw him at the Arnold's, and he looked massive. I wonder though, will he get to a point like maybe like a Rolly did, where you're getting so big that some of the details starting to get blurred?
I don't think so, man. Because the last update he posted, like, check this shit out.
When he went on stage at the Arnold to present the award, and he hit that most muscular as a joke, I was like, oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
he's not in the fucking show.
Yeah, he looks crazy big.
You know what he reminds me of? It's like when Jay Cutler said, "You know what? Fuck this. I'm going all out to beat Ronnie," and he just like doubled in size.
Yeah,
it's like I think Nick's pulling one of those right now.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I have a feeling like, look. I know we're getting into Olympia talk, which is far off, but in my opinion, if Derek doesn't harden up in the upper body, and Hottie's already perfect, but he's smaller than Nick. If Samson doesn't learn to get the condition down, those 3 are the biggest threat, in my opinion, to Nick.
I think that if Nick did the Olympia, I think there would have been a serious top 3 controversy.
I don't know. I think he's changed. I think you're right. He definitely would have been like close. But I think something's even happened since the Olympia. Like looks like he's grown even more.
He does. He looks bigger than ever.
Like I've never seen him like this. I shook his hand backstage at the Arnold. We went backstage. Hey Nick, how you doing? And I looked at him and I'm like, I couldn't believe how big he's gotten.
Yeah.
And I know it's off season, but he's not really off season because his shape is like he's still in shape.
He's what, 10 weeks?
Like, look.
New York's May or something, right?
This is not off season.
That's contest condition
This-
for most guys.
When I was competing, this was like 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 for me.
Yeah.
Where's
I
that? He just
There's
posted
that
a
shot
side
when he
chest.
hits it on stage.
That I was looking for the quarter turn. I saw a quarter turn that he posted or somebody posted. Not this. Somebody posted a quarter turn. I can't remember what page. It must have been maybe buys and tries or something like that. And I was like, holy fuck. He's like, he's really fucking, he's upset. So
Yeah.
when Nick's upset, look out.
Yeah.
Look out.
Dude is.
So yeah, so those 4, and then you never know, I know this is a long shot and people have already like written them off, but like, who knows what some good rest would do for Rami?
Yeah.
Rami could come back and like be surprising if he with a good year off. Who knows?
There's so many good guys. Andrew Jack, Hunter. There's so many good guys in that top 7, top 8 in the world.
I almost feel like those 4 guys are almost have separated themselves a little bit.
I agree. Right now, they're definitely the upper tier right now.
You're
Like,
right, dude. I just completely forgot about Andrew Jack and Hunter.
But
Yeah.
do you
I love
think,
Rubiel.
Seth, what's your opinion? Mike, what's your opinion too? Do you guys think Andrew is in the same category as the first 4 we discussed?
No.
Samson, Nick, Derek, Hottie.
No.
Not based on his last appearance, at least.
Although I did see Hunter at the fucking
I
Arnold.
think Hunter looks fucking insane.
Yeah, he does.
He looked the same size as Nick. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Him and Nick were the 2 most impressive guys I saw at the expo.
They were, you know what? Ian was really impressed, and that's hard to do. That
Yeah.
motherfucker doesn't get impressed by anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hunter looked like a fucking freak when we saw him. So it's going to be an exciting fucking Olympia. So
I mean-
can I ask you guys something? I don't know if I'm way off on this, but Samson's already qualified because of last year's Olympia, right? It's top 3 qualified now.
Yep.
And Rafa has got to win Brazil, right? Nick's got to win New York.
No more points, right?
I don't think they're doing points anymore. So Nick's
Yeah, I
got to
don't
win New
think so.
York. So everybody else has to do a show. Like Andrew's got to do a show. Hunter's got to do a show.
Which makes
Yeah.
it great for fans, I think, because now
Oh, yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
got to do a show. Like every show's going to have good bodybuilders. I shouldn't say good, but like top names.
Seth, is anybody else you want to cover from Arnold, Ohio?
Um,
Other than how incredible John De La Rosa looked?
no, dude, I'm pumped for John. I really want to see John qualify again. I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him. He's gonna have to put in time to get to it, but I want to see John there. I mean, that's what I was getting at before the whole Nick Walker thing popped in. Dude, the bodybuilders are really good. These shows are exciting. Like these guys, if they show up, are wowing. Like
Right.
they're not small, they're not detailed. They are incredible competitors. So I think the sport from an open category is trending up.
Mhm.
Like
I
I think
agree.
we're gonna see people just all of a sudden come into their own and get better and better and better. Like the thing that blows my mind that people, I mean, I guess it doesn't blow my mind, but people forget that like Ronnie Coleman was in last place. Jake Cutler was,
Right. Yeah.
these guys weren't always number 1 and number 2 and
Right.
in the top spots. Like they worked their way up. So I literally expect like these guys to continue to get better that are in the back end and younger. They're going to learn and get better, and it's going to be super exciting.
Right.
Like this is
Speaking of bodybuilding getting better, so Arnold has thrown his hat in the ring now to be the best show on earth, and up the prize money from 300 grand to 500 grand for first place, not overall prize money, just for first place. So now he's topping the Olympia by $100,000. Now, I saw one of the women's physique competitors comment on buys and tries that you don't make the best show by giving more prize money. You make the best show by having all the divisions. And I would disagree with that fucking 1000%, because what he's saying is I have the best open men's bodybuilding show. I have the best show in these categories. You can go have the best women's bodybuilding show. You can have the best women's. I have the best show in open men's bodybuilding, classic, men's physique, whatever categories he has. So the Arnold can still be the premier show in open men's bodybuilding, which is that's the class that puts the asses in the seats.
And that's what they want to promote. That's their choice.
So
it's their choice to have whatever classes they want.
Seth, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like him adding 200 grand to first place is not enough because he doesn't have the other classes, or do you think it still says we're going to be the best bodybuilding show?
We were talking a minute ago about not being able to fucking please everybody under the sun.
I should have known better. I should have known better to take you here.
We are trying to look how difficult it has been to grow this sport. They have been trying to get more prize money into this sport for the longest time.
Right.
Mid 45 throwing their hat in. Arnold saying, let's throw more money at it. Like, dude, incredible.
I just want to mention Wolfpack. They just threw in a bunch of money for wellness too.
Yep.
Dude, it's like, this is what needs to occur. You putting on a show, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll throw money at it. Let's do cool shit. Like, it is so difficult to make this happen. And whenever somebody does something extravagant and more, and he's like, fuck it, I'll throw 200 more grand at it, make it better than the Olympia. Like we're creating, like they're creating an excitement and conversation and all this. And then you have somebody like that says that. And it's like, listen, I understand where they're coming from.
Yes.
And I understand that there is room for saying like, yeah, like, sure. But you have to understand this. You are a niche within a niche within a niche in women's competitors.
Yeah.
Like women's competitors are already a niche.
Right.
And then you're in women's bodybuilding, which is the niche of the niche, and women's physique, which is in the niche of the niche. Like, so we're talking about something that is literally like a few people.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, like we got to understand this and understand where we're trying to take the sport. It's growing. Like we can't just start doing all the things and pleasing everybody just for feelings. We have to understand that this is difficult to achieve to begin with. And I understand where they're coming from. And maybe we're going to continue to get there, but bitching and complaining isn't going to get you there.
Well, like sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
All I'm getting at is like it's going to take time and it needs to happen on the back end.
Right.
Like it needs to happen on the back end of this to grow. Like nobody's watching women's bodybuilding.
Right.
They're not.
So my thought on it is the men's money trickles down to the rest of the classes and the rest of the shows. So like when Arnold does a $500,000 show and the Olympia does a $400,000 show, the smaller shows are almost you can't do 10,000 anymore.
No.
You know, we're doing 25,000, and then the Dubai show, they're doing 100,000.
Yep.
For the winner. And then there's Prague that does like 35 or 40 or whatever they do for the winner. So it's like this stuff kind of like elevates everybody.
Right.
And then
competition.
Then you would say, well, oh, it's only elevating bodybuilding. Okay, fine. But once bodybuilding gets elevated, all the other classes also start to come up.
Right.
So it's like the money is going into like a massive pot, and everybody's going to get the share based on how many eyeballs you're drawing.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, like this is like, so the Arnold's focuses on men's open bodybuilding, classic physique. They focus on the areas they focus. That's what they choose to do. They're a business. They can choose to focus on whatever they want. Sure. If you want women's bodybuilding the girl, then show some initiative.
Right. Well, it's kind of like me.
It happens on the back end.
Right.
Meaning what?
Okay,
explain that.
Business. Whenever someone wants, it's like whenever you want to grow something, you don't go, hello, can somebody please give me money? No, you make phone calls.
That's right.
Right. You build it.
Talking on the back end to the people that own businesses that have money on how to grow something. So that way you can do it together. And then it grows together and you're like, hey, look what we did. This is great. And everybody works together for a common goal. And that's what's occurring right now. So if it's like they want to get bigger, involve the people for that to occur.
Well, I mean,
like what wellness just did. That's a huge step in the right direction.
It's really simple. We've been on this podcast I've been doing the podcast now for 3 or fucking almost 4 years. And I don't know how many times I've complained about show lighting. I've complained about backdrops and how they should just be a black curtain, how prize money should be better. I don't complain about prize money that much because I know how much it costs to put on a show, but I have said it in the past. So we had our own show, and we're going to do, we put it in a theater with good lighting. Hopefully the lighting ends up, I swear, I hope I don't put my foot in it. But hopefully the lighting turns out right. We got
it's going to be me with a flashlight.
Yeah. We got a black backdrop. We're doing it kind of how we want to do it. Like people, like the fans are asking for it. Like we just want a black backdrop. Okay. And we put up 25 grand. Now somebody would be like, well, you only have one division. I'm like, yeah, but that's the division we're passionate about. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of people don't understand. It's a lot of money to put on a show. So we have to start small and grow it year after year.
Right. And we're putting our necks on the line. Like,
Right.
we're not rich. If this thing doesn't make money, we got to pay for that.
But
There's nothing guaranteed that we're going to make money on this.
right. But the point I was trying to make is if I think her name's Sarah, I think she's a former Miss Olympia. If
she's a phenomenal competitor.
No, she's amazing. Amazing
she's
physique.
insane.
And like I said, I understand where she's coming from. I don't agree with her statement, but I understand it. But my point of all of it is, if she's so passionate, I'm sure if she asked Tyler to have a show, they wouldn't say no. Right. And I saw also what's his name?
I think she's put on shows.
Has she?
Like paid for, and like put up prize money and stuff like that, or even offered to.
Good.
Right.
And she should keep doing that then. That's
Right.
like she's promoting her own sport. But what's his name? Who's the guy that did really well at the Olympia one year and then kind of like faded? Black guy, calls himself the future. Got great legs, tiny waist.
How long ago?
He was like really good at the Olympia like 3 years ago. In the Open, yes. How come I can't remember his fucking name now? He's been on the podcast before. I feel like such an asshole. Anyway, it'll come to me. He said that there are a whole bunch of shows that don't have Open men's.
Yeah.
No fucking fee.
Well, because it's expensive.
It's the most expensive.
It's the most expensive to have. So, and people don't know that either. The sanction fee is more, the prize money is more, all that's more. So, but there's a whole bunch of shows that are no Open men. Either they're just 212 or they're just physique or they're just bikini or whatever they are. I've never heard an open men's competitor complain that there's not more Open men's shows and why those shows don't have Open. Like, it's like,
there's gonna have to be something done to like Seth says on the back end, but it's like you're gonna have to do something to draw people's attention to want to see that shit still.
Yeah.
Like I'm a fan of it because I'm a fan of. I train some women physique girls, and I appreciate women's bodybuilding as a fan of the sport. But like, let's be honest, like there's a reason why only bikini and wellness and fitness, I guess, was at the Arnold, because that seems to be where things are heading, right? Like women aren't trying to have these massive physiques. They're trying to have massive asses and massive quads and still remain feminine and do all this stuff. So it's like, if you're going to try and attract people to those categories again, you're going to have to maybe change the criteria a bit, like even more than you have in the past, and like draw people's eyes to like, okay, wellness is this, and then this physique is like kind of like wellness, but it's a little more, but it's not like enough where I'm like, oh, like fuck's happening here. You know what I mean?
Physique has taken a turn where a lot of gear has taken over in women's physique, because there are women that have crazy genetics, and they're still remaining very feminine in the face. But then, like, in order for some other females to compete up against them, they go a little further and they start getting that women's bodybuilder look, and that's not very appealing for the whole entire crowd. Now, like you said, Mike, like, dude, you appreciate it. Like, I mean, I've seen it up close. I'm like, man, this is insane. Look at that. Like, we can appreciate it, but from the standpoint of a business, from the money standpoint, because money means business means money, and money means business. So it's like, that's just where it falls short.
Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
I wonder though, like, remember back when Dana Lynn Bailey was in the women's physique, it was popular. So is it just going through a trend right now?
It keeps evolving. Everything keeps evolving to be like this bigger, better. And you see, like, even wellness girls now, like when wellness started to what it is now, these are like freak fucking girls. Like,
right. And I think
these are freak proportions, right?
And I think the IFBB has done a good job up to this point of reining things in with the men's categories, putting in weight caps and things like that. Men's physique now is a weight cap, and they may have to do the same thing on the female side at some point in time to rein that in. But I just wonder, like, is it that there's just not that person right now to, like, that one popular person to carry that class forward right now at the moment? Is it just going through a downward trend?
No,
that category at the moment.
I think it's a popular physique because yes, Dana Lynn Bailey was super fucking popular as a female athlete, but it's also because she had a look that a lot of women wanted.
Very feminine in the face.
Like still. You can't be like Dana Lynn Bailey's not just popular because of her personality. That's part of it. But I think a lot of girls liked her style and her look.
Yeah. And you think women's physique has pushed that envelope a little too far now, or women don't want to look like that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
there are still some that I think that, have maintained.
I'm not gonna look. I'm not one to say what's too much and what's not too much. There's fucking normal women that walk around that look at us and think we're disgusting.
Right.
So I'm not one to say what's too much and what's not enough.
But
All I'm saying is, it's this person's show. They can do what they want. They want it to be the best bodybuilding show on the planet, and now they're putting their money where their mouth is. If you want to promote your class, and he doesn't, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to promote your own shit. Like other
It's
people,
also like
other people don't have to do it for you. Go ahead.
The fans that are coming up now, like this next generation of bodybuilding fans or physique fans, they haven't had too much exposure to a woman bodybuilder. So like these kids who are like 18, 19,
Yeah.
like in there, like, and they're like Bumstead fans, Sam fans, they don't really know what that is. And they're kind of like, you can see they kind of pull back from like anything that's more muscular than like wellness. So if a girl has huge quads and like crazy development in her glutes, they're like, oh, that's fucking sick. But they're like, I don't want her like jacked up top. You know what I mean? Like, so as soon as you cross that threshold of being like this leg dominant person and like getting into like real physique and like, I mean, obviously the masculizing of the women from juice and stuff, these guys that are girls that are coming up, they're not really like, that's not really what you see them drawing towards. Like, they're not trying to look like that.
So
They're not in the gym. They're in the gym looking at their ass. They're not in the gym doing front doubles in the fucking mirror, right? Like,
okay, I'm gonna ask you guys to do something that you probably can't do, but let's all pretend we're not men for a fucking minute. Let's pretend we're all female bodybuilders or up and coming female bodybuilders. Are we talking shit? Like, should Arnold be having more women's classes, or are we just seeing it that way because we're men?
All right. After listening to this, and
I gotta go to the bathroom. 1 second.
Paul doesn't want to answer.
when the questions get hard, Paul.
Yeah, Paul doesn't want to answer the question.
I think that what would be upsetting to me, and this is why I said I understand where they're coming from. Dude, Arnold just threw 200K and was like, fuck it.
Right.
They're like, well, can you just have an event for us and throw 30 grand at our category?
Right.
Like, but you just threw that. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
If we're women and we're thinking, if we're up and comers in that industry, it's like, dude, I want to stand on the Arnold stage.
Right.
Yeah. I want to be there. That's the second biggest stage in the entire in the all of bodybuilding. That's the second. You just said you're putting on the best show.
This is what I'm getting at. Is we're looking at it as for men.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, but in order for that to occur, it happens on the back end of like, dude, if I'm sponsoring your show, Fouad, or if I sponsor any show, like any show, my logo is very big up on stage and everybody fucking sees it. Right. Like, that's what you're paying for. I'm paying for that. So you see it and this and that. You're like, so we're going to do black backdrop. It's like,
I can't have your logo. Sorry.
There's no logo up there. Nope.
Oh, no, wait. We're going to have a TV. So we'll have your ad rolling.
I know that. I'm just fucking.
I know.
I know that going into this, that was what was discussed on the back end of saying like, hey, we are doing something that is not normal. This is what we've been talking on the podcast for years about. People have been saying, just do straight black backdrop, like back in the day, whenever you saw Dorian Yates or Lee Priest or this or that. Yeah. It's like, cool. Like, okay, so I understand what I'm giving my money to.
Right.
Like, I'm aware of that. Right. And if you, whenever you're sponsoring something, that's usually, those are questions that come up.
Right.
What type of ad space do I get? Where am I at? How is it going to see to the crowd? Like, who's coming in? What's going to happen? No, this is something that we're supporting so that we can see if this works.
Yeah.
What happens if this really works? Like, what happens if this like pops off and people are like, bro, did you see the show and the backdrop and the lighting? It looked old school. It was sick as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, that would be amazing. Then other shows might start following the trend, right?
Yes. But in order for that to occur, you need people to back you.
Right.
And that's what all the sponsors are signing up for. They know what they're signing up for. They know what you're trying to do. And I think that if I was a female coming up in that, I'd be thinking like, if he's willing to throw 200 G's, it's Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger. The dude's worth $1 billion. Like, why doesn't he just throw 30 grand at ours to get in there?
Let me play devil's advocate for a second, because I don't disagree with you. But speaking of the back end, right? If I'm a leading woman in one of these categories, does it benefit me to have a conversation? A lot of the people in the industry know who Brian Powers is. Brian Powers is the producer, or I don't know if I would call him producer, but he basically runs the show at the Arnold.
Runs the show.
Puts everything together.
Good dude.
Does it benefit me as a leader in the female world to have a meeting with this person and say, Brian, I have backers. I've already found sponsors. Do you want to have a third day at the Arnold, like a Thursday at the Arnold or whatever? Is it possible that if we bring in 30, 40, 50 grand, you can have this thing? Or is it just not logistically possible because we don't have the venue for an extra day, or we don't have the time to put it in because it's too many classes? Because those things are all part of it too, right? Like, people don't think of that. But you have to also think, if we're going to have women's physique, women's bodybuilding, and there's another one, and figure, that's 3 more classes. So that extends the time. So now you probably have to have a third day of competition. So now you're like, okay, I gotta reserve the theater for the third day. I gotta have all the staff there. These are all logistical things. So it's not just the prize. It's not just the prize money. It's not just the sanction fee. So you're like, you really have to come in there and go, hey, we raised $100,000, or we raised 50. Will you put in the other 50? Like something like that, I think would go along better than putting a post on Instagram, just like pissing on, somebody trying to make something better.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I'm thinking like a dude. I'm trying to be like.
No, but I think that nails it on the head, Fouad.
No. That's business.
Yeah, like if you want to grow the sport, and you want to work with the people who can grow the sport for you, then make it a partnership, not you do this for me.
Yeah, you could be like, I want to use your platform, but I don't want you to give me anything. I'm going to work my end and my connections and my partnerships to help it out.
Yeah, that'd be a better approach, I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right.
I mean, it's a touchy subject. It's hard because, like I said, it's a niche of a niche.
It wasn't an International Women's Day when that post came out.
I don't know. Was it?
I think so.
I don't know when International Women's Day is. Why do you know when that is?
March 8th.
It just happened. I saw a post about it.
I think it landed on the same day.
Your wife made you celebrate it, didn't she?
Me or Seth?
No, you know what day it is, honey.
I get so frustrated with the whole thing about the equality, men and women. I get so frustrated about it because I'm like, we're not the same.
Yes, we are.
Women are beautiful in their own regard for who they are. Like,
no, we're exactly alike. Hey, I got a question. Let's get off politics for a second. I got a question for you. If you buy your wife, first let me ask, do you ever buy your wife a gift, like say a birthday gift, and like let's say you bought it like 3 months ago, and you're like, I'm buying you this, but it's for your birthday. Do you ever do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike, have you done that? Seth, have you done that?
Yeah.
I have done that, but I mean, I learned not to do that.
Yeah. Do you get fucked when the birthday comes around?
Yeah, I still buy something.
Well,
it's the dumbest thing ever.
Well, it's kind of like they look at you and they're like, "It's my birthday," and you're like,
"You still have to get something else."
Yeah. I don't.
You don't?
I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it. It's my wife's birthday today. I'm fighting it today. I'm like,
that's right.
I'm like, I bought you like a whole bunch of shit. Like,
wait it out. The day's almost over. Just wait it out a couple more hours. We'll just talk. We'll just stay on.
We're gonna hide in the podcast room till
we'll stay on this all night.
I got her a dog like fucking 2 weeks ago. It was the Arnold. The Arnold was at the Arnold.
Yeah.
I bought her a dog, and then I also got us a trip to Italy in May.
Oh, you're good. You're good for the rest of her life.
That's what I thought. The rest of her life.
Hey, you know what you should do? This would seal the deal, though.
What? Tell me.
You come from the heart right now, Fouad.
Well, now you're telling me though. People are gonna watch. They do it, so it's from your heart, not mine.
Get a piece of paper and write a fucking love note.
Oh yeah.
Tell me what to write. Tell me what to write.
Do it on the podcast.
Let's help Fouad with it.
Tell me what to write.
Dear Summer.
Dear Summer, I bought you a dog. Is that not enough?
No.
It's your birthday, and I just want to reflect how much I love you.
The dog's cute enough.
Okay, Seth, give me the first line, and I'll go from there. Dear Summer.
It's your heart.
Yeah, I'd be nothing without you.
Whenever we're done,
weird if that happens.
Whenever we're done here, you take that.
I know. Shut up. I'm just joking.
Make sure you tell her you'd be nothing without her.
You need to cut that out. Seth's being way too sweet right now, and he's gonna fucking put pressure on us to do stuff. So
make us all look bad.
I'm gonna stress out for a week. I gotta leave my wife a note, and I don't know what to say in it.
Seth writes notes. He writes
notes. Show me your boobies later.
Do you write notes, or are you just trying to get brownie points right now?
Me?
Yeah. Do you write notes?
Listen, I am a fucking piece of work to live with.
Wait, don't dodge the question. Are you a romantic or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your version of a romantic? Tell me like how it works.
Okay.
No, I don't mean like when you get in bed. I mean like
No. I'm mediocre.
That's a real romance.
Mediocre there. No, like I don't know, like Hannah, my life previous to Hannah was not fun. I had a really bad relationship with my ex-wife. So now that I have Hannah, like, dude, she's just such a wonderful person, and I am very difficult to live with. I'm super intense, like with work. I love it. I get over the top, but like she's made me a better version of myself. So like whenever I get the chance, I don't know, like make sure that she knows I love her. Because there's a lot of days whenever I'm out the door.
But I need a little bit more specifics. Like I tell Summer I love her. Like, are you buying
No,
Are you buying flowers on a regular basis?
Yeah, like tell us what to do, man.
Are you just calling her?
What do we
telling her
do?
you love her? Yeah.
Like get her Starbucks or something? What are we doing?
A fucking blueprint here, Seth. We're fucked.
Yeah, we need to know what it looks like.
They all work. You guys all had good ideas there. All right, flowers.
I hate flowers.
I do flowers.
I'll buy her anything but flowers.
You know why? Because you don't go to the grocery store. You go to the grocery store, they're always there. So I'll grab once in a while.
No.
Oh, Paul, that's not where you get the flowers.
That's not flowers.
They don't know the difference. You can put them in a vase when you get home.
That's not flowers. You gotta go to a flower shop.
Paul's killing it.
Why do you mean it's not flowers? That counts.
It's not the same.
Why not?
Because the flower shop has like nice flowers and nice vases and nice arrangements.
Because I got to pay triple, then it counts.
Then it counts. That's right.
Oh,
you can't shove it in the bag next to your fucking eggs. And
okay, I do flowers, but I hate flowers because it's like they're dead in 2 days. I'm like,
they're a waste of money. Total waste of money.
I don't do Valentine's Day, though. I hate that fucking holiday.
I don't do that either.
But you were just saying like, okay, we were trying to think like women for the bodybuilding purpose. All right. Now think like a woman for this purpose.
You know what that means? I gotta go massage your back for half an hour.
Nope. Literally.
Oh God.
Literally just little things that you like. If you took something, I mean, this is, we're getting romantic here. So if you took like a note of some sort, post-it note or something like that, where she goes every single day and you're not home, you're somewhere else, and you let her know that you're like thinking of her, like, I love your boobies. Can I see your boobies later? And you put that on a post-it note on the mirror. She's gonna be like,
I'm gonna try that. Stuff.
Sweet. That will melt the heart right there.
I'm gonna try it. And I'll let you know what works for me. I don't think it's gonna work for me.
Wait. Okay, Paul. This week, at some point, I want you to.
You have to leave a note that says,
"You have to leave a post-it note that says, I want to see your boobies." No.
I'll do it. I'll film it. I'll do it.
Okay.
And then tell me
I'll do it right now.
what happened.
I would love to do that, and I'm going to do that. But the only problem is Tony and the girls leave in the morning for vacation, and I leave the next day. So
we'll have to do it. We'll have to do it next week. We'll do it next week.
Yeah, remind me though, and I'd love to do that because I know it ain't gonna work for me.
Let's see if it works for Mike.
Especially if I put something sexual in it, it definitely ain't working for me.
Yeah.
If I just put "I love you," yeah, she'll love that. But if I put something sexual,
wait, we have the sex freak himself.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, man,
we got the sex freak himself has joined us. Hey,
there he is.
Stop.
People thought we were beefing because you weren't here.
We are beefing.
We are beefing.
I love your boobies.
I love your boobies.
That should make her day.
Seth is giving.
I stuck it to the lamp right here.
Ian, Seth is giving us romantic ideas for our wives because
let us know how that works, Mike.
And is that giving them a little love note saying "I love your boobies"?
Yeah. That was. Would that work for you?
That's where I left it.
Yeah, it
that's
might
so
work,
romantic, Mike.
I'm gonna try it tonight. I'll stick one right on the bedside table here.
Okay, but wait,
that's gonna be a new shirt.
But wait, I have a question. Would either of your girlfriend's wives be mad if they knew it came from Seth?
Yeah.
No, but we're not going to tell them.
No, but I'm saying if they found out,
it wouldn't mean as much.
No, I still went on my way to do it, so it's like I still had to put the effort in.
Ian, did you lose more weight?
No, I gained weight actually. Why do I look a little fucked up?
Your eyes look a little more sunken in. Maybe it's the lighting.
Could be the shrooms.
Maybe the shrooms. Yeah, could be the shrooms.
It's the 12 grams of shrooms I ate 2 hours ago. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Seth, you should have been. Well, Seth, you don't party anymore, do you?
Not really. I haven't really had the opportunity to do so.
Fuck, you should have came to Columbus.
You're in luck.
Are you going to be in England?
Ian, you're mushrooms in Columbus.
What's that?
Were you eating mushrooms in Columbus?
A few.
No.
A couple. Just a couple small trinkets. Okay, Ian, you're just in time for your profession, which is the analyst of the group.
Nice.
So let's do the Arnold UK.
Oh shit. Okay.
Can we see the lineup, or it's all the same?
Ian, you won, so you go last.
Well, shouldn't I go first?
No, because then everyone's just going to copy your picks.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll go last. That's fine.
I guess that means I
mean, we're gonna have copy his picks.
Well, Paul, come on, you're notorious.
If I haven't won one yet, if I was copying his picks, I'd be a little more successful.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point. Good point, Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do one at a time, and we'll go around the horn. So I'll go first. And this is only if Hottie doesn't. Are we doing this if Hottie makes it or doesn't make it?
I say we make it so that he's there.
Okay, if Hottie makes it, I'm going to go Hottie first. Is everybody on Hottie first?
Yep.
Yeah. Can someone text Hani real quick and get an answer on this or what?
Ian, you talk to him regularly, no?
I don't know if I have his phone number though. Maybe I do. I think I do actually. Yeah. Should I ask him?
Yeah, text him. Okay, Hottie. Are we all doing Samson second?
Yes.
Okay. Let me.
After these two spots is where it gets a
Then
little.
we're all fucked.
Yeah, now we're all doing different.
I don't know if we're going to be different, but it definitely gets harder.
I think there'll be some differences.
You know what I love? All the people that watch the podcast are so mad at me for my Excel skills.
Yeah, saying that you should be doing it manually.
We need the equation to work in the final column.
I can't do that yet. I'm learning.
Okay. Okay, now we're at third. So Rafa's not there. Marcelo's not there. Everybody else is there.
John's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
John's there. James, Akeem, Antoine, Mo, Justin. They're all there. So I guess it's my pick first, right? Because I was last.
Yep. Sure.
Oh fuck. Oops. I'll just go John. Okay. I'm gonna play it safe for now. Maybe are we gonna get a chance to change these again or no?
No, I guess not.
We're not gonna have a chance to before the show now.
Okay. Paul, I think you were second last after me and Jake.
I'm gonna go Akeem.
I was gonna do that too. I gotta think about
that.
that.
Yeah, I think I'm there, but I'm thinking
Seth?
still.
Before this is over, I might change, but
Yeah, we're not. This isn't locked in. This is just.
I'm between John and Akim, but I think I'm gonna put Akim there.
Yeah, I don't blame you guys. Mike,
John,
Ian, tiebreaker.
Akeem.
Ooh.
Surprised we didn't have any James third.
Oh shit. This is fucked.
This is hard.
I'll go for it if you want.
Going to come in harder.
John's going to be harder. You're right, but I think Akeem's going to be like he was on the Saturday night at this show. So.
Seth, who's fourth? We'll explain them all after. Let's do them first. Seth, who's fourth?
I'm going with John.
Mike?
Akeem.
Ian?
John.
James?
We're all going to be two different renditions of the same thing here.
I know. It's okay. Paul, you're next.
James.
Seth?
James.
I might pick something different just to be different. Mike?
Antoine.
Ooh. Ian?
Yeah, I'm going to go James.
I'll go Antoine here.
Same.
Seth?
Yep.
Mike?
James.
Ian?
Antoine.
I'm going to go Justin. Am I
Same.
forgetting somebody? No, right?
Mo.
Justin, Mo.
Yeah.
Seth?
Justin and Mo.
Oops.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of the same here.
What the fuck? Why did you spell that wrong? What the fuck is going on here?
Dyslexic, bro.
I think so, yeah.
Watine. Yeah, there's only 8 guys. They're not going to be very much different.
Okay, let's talk about this now that we have a skeleton. Okay, Ian, let's get your opinion since you won last week. Why did you pick? I mean, these are self-explanatory. Why did you go with this?
Yeah, from the pictures I've seen, Akeem definitely looks harder. I think he's one of those guys who'll get a little better as the shows go.
Yeah.
I think they missed the mark on the Friday, but I think another week or two to get a little drier, get a little harder. And he did beat John on the Saturday.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to give the edge to Akeem. I think John's going to be sharper too, but I think Akeem, with John a little sharper, he might be a touch smaller. And then Akeem's still going to be humongous and he's going to be sharp. John will definitely beat him in the back shots, but Akeem's a lot to deal with in the other shots. So I'm going to go Akeem by hair there.
That's a fucking really good reason. You don't think if John is harder that it'll make a difference, seeing as it like they'll
look, it could. That's a toss up. Honestly, it's a flip of a coin for those two. In my head right now, I'm going back and forth. I'm like, it could be John, it could be Akeem. I've seen Patrick posting the John. He looks definitely like Seth said, he's definitely sharper. So I mean, if John beat him, I wouldn't be like, oh wow, I fucked that up. Like I would be okay. I completely agree.
Question for all of you, Paul. You can go first since you're the judge on the panel. Do they care if John's in the best condition of his life? Like, does that get him any brownie points? If Akeem is better, let's say they're tied. Let's say Akeem and John are tied, but it's the best John we've ever seen in our life. Does he get a tip over nod?
Shouldn't. It should be what best physique on that day is.
No, I know that's what it should be. I'm saying human nature though is something. So like,
well, human nature,
you see John just like fucking stripped out, peeled. Is that give him more eyeballs and like a nod forward?
I mean, it could, but I just think that myself, if Akeem comes in and the way he did on Saturday, I don't think John can beat that look, in my opinion.
Yeah. Seth, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, what I was going to say was that's where the bias and the subjectivity comes in a little bit, because then you're just like, man, like I just really liked his physique. If they're literally neck and neck and you put him in the same spots and like you're saying 50-50, like that way, it's kind of like that's where that bias comes in of like, well, I just really like the fact that Akeem holds the higher weight and he's 20 pounds heavier or whatever he is bigger, and he's just as sharp, he's just as dry, he's just as hard versus, John being his absolute best ever. So, I mean, I think it still comes down to that best physique, but there could be, half
subjective.
the judging panel says this and half that. I think that.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead. You think what?
No, I was going to say, I think that if that is the case, I do think Akeem will get he'll get the edge on John.
Mike?
Just because.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I'm sorry, man. I'm off tonight. I'm trying to work Mike in because Mike's not talking a lot today. So I'm like trying to get.
I talked a lot. I'm so fucking funny on this goddamn podcast.
Mike, your thoughts on the three?
On where I put guys?
Yeah, the 3, 4, 5 spot. I mean, we all know why we put Hottie and Samson first, second.
Yeah, I think Akeem might come in a little off, like he did on the Friday night. I think with the travel and everything, maybe that could affect him. Who knows?
Very true.
I think John's kind of like seasoned and will handle that perfectly. And I want to put James higher, and I'm more torn between James and Antoine than I am the other picks, because I've seen Antoine in the gym the last 2 days and he looks like he put on like 10 pounds.
Really?
So
like he's full as fuck. So I don't know whether that's gonna hold or but I feel like if it holds and he like is kind of blown out and kind of poofy round, like popping, I think he could maybe eke by James, who's maybe going to push down a little too much trying to get condition.
Can I make a point about the water? So there's two things about that. Akeem is so fucking massive that if he does start holding water from a flight, that could be hard for him to.
That's honestly a very good point that I didn't really think about in this show.
The bigger you are, the harder it is to manipulate that water, especially with the flight. But the other thing, the other point I was going to make is, I know from speaking to some people that John's physique is very, very sensitive. Like it can go this way or that way, like that.
And Akeem seems to be the same way.
Well, I don't know. Akeem, I don't know. I've heard John's like extremely, like it's like if you don't nail it, you don't nail it.
Really?
So I'm like, then you're kind of like, okay, both of them are maybe a flight risk then.
Yeah. And then maybe James has the advantage.
Well, James at home.
At home, right?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Seth.
I was going to say John's in really good shape though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if he gets over there, like, is he there yet?
I was going to say it depends. Like if Akeem flies in like the day before the show versus John flies in on Tuesday, it's going to be a big difference.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
So
what do you got there?
Do you want some pizza?
She brought me some pizza.
Oh, see, that's a good wife. Most overrated food. Most overrated food ever.
Buddy, one of our friends here brought a pizza oven. He made this from scratch.
You guys, what
nice.
What does trib mean?
Trib.
What does what mean? Trib.
Trib.
I don't know.
TRIB.
Yeah.
Tribulous?
What is it
Tribulations.
reference to?
Like times and tribulations.
I'm trying to do the New York Times crossword.
Like
What does it stand for?
Tribulation.
No, you guys, it's a word. TRIB.
Oh,
Sure.
Someone told me it means scissoring.
no, no.
I think they were fucking with you.
I don't think so.
Wait. I got it. It's a sex slang to sexually stimulate one's vulva against another person's vulva.
Holy
What is
Whoa.
scissoring?
Wow.
Two
It is
scissors.
scissoring.
Two scissors.
Wow.
Told you.
That wasn't
Trib.
the New York Times.
Trib Nation.
That's not even the two.
Crib Nation.
Are you drunk? Crib Nation. You should put that on a shirt. Put that on a shirt. Okay.
Man.
So, Melissa always comes in with the fucking. That pizza looks good. Now I gotta have to order a fucking pizza.
Yeah, this guy just made it in the oven here.
Amazing.
Awesome.
I saw the ice bath you took earlier. I just want to show everybody that real quick. That looks like a lot
That's
of.
right. That's literally in the front yard of the place we're staying.
I know it looks incredible. I'm jealous as fuck that you're there and I'm not.
I think we should all. We want to rent this house again in the summer. We should all stay here.
100%. I'm in.
Yeah,
It's
for
got
sure.
a massive indoor pool, hot tub. It's next to the village. It's crazy.
Look at this fucking ice bath. This is hardcore ice bath.
And there's stairs. There's stairs, like the stairs from the front door just go right down to this.
Oh wow.
Melissa's
Where are
like,
you
fuck
at?
that.
Crazy, eh?
Where are you? Mount Tremblant? Ian?
Yeah, trouble.
Where is that? Like near Quebec City? Like more northern Quebec?
You're the geography
No,
guy.
it's
How
only
come you
like
don't know?
two and a half hours north of Ottawa.
Oh, Ian, you
Oh,
missed
okay.
it. You missed it. We had a geography off and Paul got smoked.
I almost beat
Right.
Seth on the capitals of the U.S. states.
They didn't get smoked.
Almost beat him.
It was 10-5 for Seth.
Seth went on
Did
a
a really
late
good
run.
job. He got me on a few.
He got Paul did pretty good. I was surprised.
I was hanging for a while, then Seth went on a late run.
Okay, where the fuck were we? Picks. Okay, so we're talking about John and Akeem. Okay, question I had about those two. Anybody can answer. Seth, you go first because you're our guest. Is it key? So me and Paul talk about wow factor all the time. Like one of the reasons we thought one of the things that we thought Derek beat Hottie on this year at the Olympia was the wow factor of his conditioning in his lower body, especially just
From
like
the back, yeah.
yeah, it kind of blew everybody away, and that kind of wow factor sometimes catches a judge's eye. So if we're saying that, if that's true, whose wow factor is better? Is Akeem's wow factor better because he's massive, or is John's wow factor better because he's so complete and maybe in the best shape of his life?
I think Akeem being that big and that shredded, and dude, on Saturday he looked incredible.
He did.
He looked fucking incredible on Saturday.
Yeah,
so if he comes in better than that at prejudging, I don't think John can beat that at where he is. I think John needs to continue to polish his physique to get to be able to beat it. But if Akeem's off a little bit, like it's not that on Saturday, and John is fucking on, I think John takes the edge. I think John from behind will beat Akeem. And
100%.
John from behind is what, dude, whenever John was teetering with Hunter at the one show last year, that's where everybody was like, hey, like, dude, look at those two next to each other. Like, John looks like he's...
But Seth, let me ask you this. Speaking of from behind, so John's back is more complete, but Akeem's hamstrings and quads and glutes and everything from the back are far more developed than John's.
Yeah, but his back is a strong weak point. So then you have that missed
the
balance
detriment.
there.
Yeah. It's
there's that like almost like whoa wowing factor from behind that you're like John De La Rosa.
Yeah. I got you.
I think if Akeem comes in like Saturday, Akeem's I don't think John could touch Akeem at his best yet. But I think if James comes in a little bit more sharper, I can see him being trouble for John.
I wonder I was talking about Samson coaching himself this week, but James is also, and James did a good job bringing himself into the Arnold. But I kind of wonder what Seth said, if maybe that's going to be that's going to hold some truth. Like maybe he tries to bring it down too far. Because one thing is James has to be full
Yeah.
to be impressive. So if he
Yeah.
tries to bring it down too much, it might be detrimental. And then in which case I could see Antoine being
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to pull too hard because he's hearing all this criticism of condition, right? And he's going to want to overcompensate. It might flatten him out.
What do you think about that, Ian? Do you think James will make that mistake, or do you think he's seasoned enough to know not to go that far?
It's tough to say. I mean, it's certainly a possibility. You know, for someone like James that takes a lot of pride in being like the fucking gnarliest condition guy, if he sees any critique on that, I think he could overcompensate a little bit, like Mike said. I love James. I don't see him beating either way. I don't see him beating John at the level John's at right now. I think John's going to be better than the Arnold. I think James might be a little better if he's like makes the improvements we're hoping to see, but I don't know if it'll be enough to close the gap. And I think this Akeem is going to be better this show. And I think he will pass both of them. Yeah. Cause I mean, on the Saturday, the judges were definitely, they gave him a look in that top four with like Haughty and Samson and, and Raphael.
Yeah. Yeah.
And held John out of that. John obviously ended up still beating him because he beat him on the Friday, but I think, it's going to be, Akeem I have in that strong third.
Paul, do you think it was clear fourth over James's fifth, or do you think James was close to beating John?
No, I think James has to be a little bit sharper from the front to close the gap.
No, but I mean, okay, I understand that. But when you looked at it personally, not like what the judges think, when you looked at them personally, do you think James is close to John, or do you think John's clearly ahead at this point in their career?
I thought James was closer on Saturday to John than he was on Friday. And I think if James is sharp, I think he can beat John. Yeah. Like he's got the lower body advantage for sure.
Yeah.
I know John's got a crazy back double bicep. John's got a really impressive upper body, but I find John a little bit unbalanced from the front. I think his quads are a little bit undersized for his upper body, especially the way his lats open on some of his front poses.
Last question on these three, and anybody can answer. If Akeem is better than he was on the Saturday night at the Arnold, is there any way John or James beat him?
Anyway,
I don't believe so, no.
Is there any way John or James beat Akeem if he's better than he was on the Saturday at Arnold?
There's a small chance John does, but not large enough that I'm willing to bet on it, no.
Yeah. Mike?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think if Akeem comes in like he did Saturday night or even better, he's going to smoke everybody that's below the top two.
Yeah. I mean, look, on the Saturday night when they were comparing that top four call out,
he fit in well.
I was looking at Samson and Akeem. I was like, holy fuck. The only thing I think Samson's shoulders are wider. Akeem seemed to kind of, the delt doesn't cap off as much.
Yeah, and Samson's
from the back as well, obviously.
His detail in the back, like even if Akeem's conditioning was a little better through the glutes and hams, the detail through the hamstrings and back is definitely superior on Samson, and he's wider for sure. Yeah.
I think the only reason I'm saying that is I was so blown away by Akeem's X frame from the front. Like his waist is actually small for a guy that fucking big.
Those high lats serve well from the front.
Yeah. Okay, so the next wild card then is Antoine. Can Antoine be full enough to get ahead of James or even John?
If John knows,
James maybe if he's off a little bit, yeah.
Seth, what do you think?
I was saying it earlier. If that son of a bitch was just fuller,
you're being biased. Don't be biased.
It would make it. I think that he is shallow in those higher areas on the chest and the back. But if he comes in fuller, like I think he posted a back shot of him at like a couple days later, and it's like, dude, fuck.
Yeah.
See if I can find it.
Like if you,
he seems to correct a lot though. Like he'll learn from his mistakes and he'll correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because even the year where I did New York with him in 2020, he was like, outside the first call out there, and then he went and won California the next week and was like harder, fuller. Like he was so much better just in the span of a week or two.
Yeah.
So I think Antoine, his body's very responsive, especially when you're in that kind of conditioning, and you can make quick time adjustments. So like if you're someone that's like, okay, I got to bring my conditioning down, that might take a little time. You might risk going a little flat. He's already in condition. So now you can just play with fullness and dryness and, those kind of last minute tweaks. So you have a little more room to mess around. See, like that's a very good look.
I don't,
Yeah,
I don't
much
even think it's as much the front as it is the back. I think if his back,
I think this isn't dry enough to go on stage. Like obviously his lower back and glutes have a little water on there. It's a nice full look. He'll obviously have to pull down a little bit to be like stage sharp, but that's very close.
no, I know, but when we talk about Antoine's structure, and sometimes we say he needs more thickness in the entire torso. I think he can actually get away with the chest he has. It's just I think he needs more back.
Yeah, that would definitely.
Yeah, his delts are very strong though, so I think he like more fullness in the chest would look that much more impressive on him. But I think you're right,
especially if you look at like a side chest. Like in his front shots, his chest isn't as much of a detriment. But I think if you look at like a side chest, you can definitely see a little more.
Yeah,
where it's a little shallow,
little thin.
Like here, like it's a little more shallow there.
Yeah,
It doesn't look bad though.
No, not at all.
He did look great at the show. I mean,
yeah, dude.
He was. We were talking about posing at the Arnold, so I don't know if he's going to make any adjustments, but I mean, he looks. Fucking. I don't see there's no reason why he can't be fourth or even. I don't know, man. If he's full enough, who knows? Maybe he could stand next to John too. I don't think if Akeem's better than he was on the Saturday, he can beat Akeem.
No, but I think as high as going up there with John, if John's not.
Yeah,
as is significantly improved, and Antoine significantly improved with fullness. I think that could be a good battle for sure, but it's hard to say.
By the way, this keeps coming up. Jose posted this.
I just saw this.
Mike, is this a alien?
Let me see it. Was that it?
This is the best I get. Yeah, this line here. Is this an alien?
He said. What's the caption? I'm on my phone. I can't read.
It says, anyone else see this in the sky around 5 minutes ago at 7:40 p.m.? Am I going crazy? That looks like a string of lights moving. Oh, then he wrote through the sky and it was moving at a good speed. I need to stop watching UFO documentaries.
There we go.
Anyway, okay. So are we leaving these this way? Because I don't think we're going to get a chance to meet again.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I see mine for 1 second, Fouad?
Yeah, it's up.
No, you're done. That's it.
I think I'm going to switch this, man. I think Akeem's got me from the Saturday he was at the show. I think I want to be different than you guys just for the sake of it. I kind of want to put James in fourth.
Me, you, and Ian are exact.
I know. I hate that.
It's a small show. It's gonna happen.
Half the time I make my picks, I'm like, I got to be different somewhere. I'm gonna put
Seth too. Seth is exactly the same too. Mike's the only one with something different right now.
I'm gonna put James in fourth just for the.
I'll put Anton in fifth and James in sixth.
I'm not touching nothing. I always touch mine.
Who gives a fuck, Paul? Oh no, you lost your predictions.
You know what? I shouldn't actually be predicting these ones.
You're outing yourself.
Yeah, I should be left out of this.
Okay, Paul's out.
Just cut that part out, Fouad.
I'm not going to cut the whole part out. Paul's out.
Cut out the last 30 minutes of the podcast.
Yes.
All right. So are we leaving it here?
Yep.
All right. Okay. You guys want to do some questions before we go?
Sure. Yeah. I'll do one or two. I'll dip. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're not going to do too many anyway because it's already been a couple hours. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh. I noticed bodybuilders never really eat pork as a protein source. Is there a reason for that?
I've noticed that too.
I don't either. Is anybody here eat pork? I don't really eat pork.
Not really.
No. I mean, I eat pork. I mean, like as a part of my diet. Like I don't eat like
massive amounts of it.
Yeah.
Like pork chops in a meal,
Yeah, like
or like pork tenderloin. Like
yeah.
No, I don't really know the reason.
Pork tenderloin's good.
It's cheap and it's readily available.
It's a nice switch up.
People just not like pigs.
I actually don't mind the taste. I've had pork chops and tenderloin. It's good. I just for some reason I just never put it in my diet.
As a protein source, like from like a nutritional standpoint, like is it as good as chicken or beef?
I thought the other white meat.
No, but I thought I had a weak amino profile or something like that. Is that true or no?
Not positive, to be honest.
Okay, well, we'll fucking skip it.
Good question though.
Who do you eat nothing but bacon for a week?
This is actually a good question. We didn't cover this. Who do you think would be the best coach for Samson?
Honey.
No.
I don't know him well enough.
I don't know him well enough either. I just want to see what Honey could do to him.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I think Hani would be the best coach for him, but I think it would be difficult to have three of the best guys. Like, I don't know, is that?
Yeah, that's getting pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I have someone in my head too, but I don't know if you want me to say it.
Say it, who cares? We don't know.
Well, because you told me that, you know.
He's talked to a bunch of people, so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who's going with.
Boss Outlaw, I think would be a good fit for him.
Boss Outlaw.
From what I know of him, I don't know the guy, but from what I see.
Boss Outlaw is a great coach. I mean, he's got Wesley looked fucking incredible. Urs looks incredible. Nathan looked incredible.
Yeah.
I just learned about him.
And he's closer to Samson.
You know,
I think he lives in closer.
You know what I like about him the most is he's not like out there.
Right.
You don't see him. You don't see him in all the photos. You don't see him in all the videos. It's kind of like he just wants to help the guys. He does not like looking for like all the recognition of it.
And he seems to give them full attention. What I've seen online, at least.
Yeah. That's a good choice for sure. Anybody else? Hani, we said because he's got two others. No.
Just out of pure curiosity, because I've never seen him work with a physique like this. I would love to see Matt Jansen work with a guy like that. You know, well, I guess he works with Quinton, so maybe, you know.
Yeah. But who else is there?
Yeah.
Matt would be a good fit too, I think. But he's got
Nick. That would be good. I'd be interested. Obviously Patrick, I'll give some love on that. He's been doing good.
Yeah.
But with Matt, we're going to run into the same problem that we ran into with Hani. He's got Nick. He's got
but then you have Hani with Derek and Hottie, and then you got Matt with Nick and Samson. You know,
right?
Yeah. Who did you say? Who did you say, Paul, just a second ago?
No, Ian said Patrick Tour.
Oh, I don't think Patrick would work.
Yeah, he told me that. He said it wouldn't be a good fit for Samson.
Listen, not for
a personal good fit. I don't think you maybe
on a personal level, because I know Samson is kind of like me in that he needs his like family time. He needs his like night out with the wife. Like he's not like not when he's prepping. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the off season. Like he needs a day off to go out for dinner or something like that, right? So, and I know Patrick is very militant in the way
I'm sure he would like they could have a conversation about, but it'd be interesting to see too, like what, and I don't think this would happen, but I'd be interested to see what like him working with Chad would be like too.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, man.
That'd be the Wild West there. I'd be interested to see that.
Abdullah.
Abdullah. I mean, we're just naming every coach here, but they're all good. You know?
Without kind of like without feeding into any stereotypes, because I don't know for sure, but I would advise him to not go with anybody that has a record of being loose with the drugs, so to speak. I would like to see him go to somebody who's a little bit more.
Oh, maybe that's what he needs. He just needs to crank that trend to like a gram or two.
Oh, no.
Chad will have this guy on zero carbs, 2 hours of cardio, and just fucking strip him to the bone.
This is what I was trying not to say.
No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I don't think Chad does that. I'm like, you know, it's just people like to play into stereotypes that are formulated online. We're just joking, but no, I mean, Chad has obviously in his career had good success with really big bodybuilders.
I was gonna say that,
yeah. He knows how to like really push them to get them down. He knows how to really fill them up. So it would be an interesting fit as well. I mean, all these guys, it's interesting to think of all the different like variations of Samson that could be spit out in the generator from different coaches.
Right.
You know what I also think is important? This is like, it's really too bad John's no longer with us, because I really think John would have been the best fucking coach for Samson, because Samson's an emotional person.
Yeah. And
I think it takes somebody like a John, or somebody like, the thing about Chad is he's very, very good, but he's very X's and O's.
Yeah.
An X's and O's person is not going to be enough. Somebody that Samson works with has to be there for him as like
what about
on the mental side too? Kind of like
that's honestly why I said, and I think knowing how Matt was when I worked with him my last show, and how much he focuses on like really knowing his guys, and like, you know, Matt, like the people that he looks up into coaching aren't like in the bodybuilding world. They're in like, you know, like college football and like fucking boxing, and like, you know, like guys that are like great coaches, and that like so much of that. Sorry,
didn't you tell me you read Phil Jackson's book? Like that's one of his idols.
Did he say maybe then, you know, he'd be one of those guys. You know, but yeah, he would be. I think he would work well like on a mental level with Samson. You know, that would be a good fit, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, might be a good fit for him too, I thought, but this person isn't so much into coaching. I don't think as much anymore. Dennis James.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Dennis
I look good the shows I did with Dennis.
Dennis was a great coach for me too. That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
And Dennis has a good way about him. It's almost like because he's been there at the highest level.
Yeah.
You almost feel like calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Dennis really seems to like, you know, form a bond with his athletes too.
Yeah. I really enjoyed.
He's got a way about him. He's got a way about him too that's very like relaxed. So
he's got like he's got like a swagger to him, you know, that's kind of like
Yeah.
He's a bro for sure.
Yeah.
Next question. What are the top 3 reasons Iain is attracted to men?
Because they're handsome,
Penis.
because they're strong, and because they have good jawlines. And I like a man with like a good head of hair. No offense to any of you guys, you know.
Well, it rules me out.
How many times would Seth? This question's for you since you're the cleanest eater here. Well, actually, Iain is. Sorry.
I was just eating Cheez-Its and he was eating pizza.
You're both retired.
I'm on vacation right now. Okay.
How many times would you eat something off your diet plan if in an off season?
How much would I?
How often would you eat
maybe
off diet?
Once every 2 weeks.
Seth?
Once a week for sure.
For me, it was twice a week, but it's not really off plan because I scheduled the twice a week. So I don't know what that means.
That's
really.
on plan then.
I think like random shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I'd say it was like 2 to 3 times a month, maybe. You know.
Yeah, I would have like, I've said this before on the podcast, so I'm sure people have heard of it. But I used to have like a Wednesday cleaner cheat that was maybe like a sushi or something, and then
High calorie.
Yeah, like a high calorie cheat that wasn't bad, and then Saturday night would be something shitty, like whatever I wanted to have. Yeah.
Yeah, and it depends on what these people like specifics. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool if I get a homemade burger and homemade French fries, I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah. See, that would be like a Wednesday night cheat for me because it's like a little bit cleaner. It's not really that bad.
Yeah.
But the Lee Priest answered and he said, off season, who's in diet? So every day I would. Diet and off season, what garbage is this you speak of?
It really depends too. Like I had very different phases in my career. Like when I was younger, and like say when we were talking about Dennis, like when I worked with Dennis, you know, I would be prepping for a show, or you know, same in the off season, I'd be eating cheat meals 2 or 3 times a week. You know, he'd push me really hard, and then I would go out and eat sushi till I would almost throw up, and then we'd, you know, and that when I was younger, that worked really, really well for me. As I got older, it definitely didn't. I just looked like watery shit. My energy would be in the garbage. But when I was younger, I'd blow up like a fucking balloon. I'd look so good. My fat burning would increase after that. But yeah, with guys like Dennis and maybe, or, you know, some of the early match shows I did, I definitely did that for sure. More often. Yeah.
If you had to have 5 bullet points for an essay on healthy and sustainable marriage, what would they be? Mike?
Communication.
Leave Post-it notes. Get her Starbucks.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I need more. Seth needs to chime in now because those are the only 2 I remember.
Seth? I've been married the longest. Fuck you all. Anyway, Seth, go ahead. Seth.
I was just going to say, the first one is what Iain said, communication, dude.
I think Paul was right. Paul said sex.
That's
Keep it simple.
Go ahead, Seth. Sorry.
Good sex life fixes a lot of things.
Nope, you're right. Communication.
5 bullet points. Communication, sex. What else?
Dude, just being you. Don't
Come
try
on.
and
Give me something. That's too easy. That's too
Yeah,
broad.
what other answers? What other answers are there here? You know,
I would say
supportive.
No, I was going to say something actually specific.
Supportive. Yeah.
I was going to say there's being you, which I agree with,
Yeah.
but I think sometimes you also have to bend to what you're.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be the you that she wants you to be.
True.
Yeah.
I think
You gotta
Be
be fake
you,
sometimes.
but be her you.
Yes. So be fake.
no, that's not what I'm saying. Guys,
But here's
on.
the thing. Here's
Come
what I
on.
mean. This is whenever you're talking about this, like you got to communicate. But then if you're like, if let's say being you, like, dude, everybody's got weird things about them that they try and like maybe suppress whenever before they really get to know the person. But when you're in a relationship, dude, and if you're with somebody for a longer period of time, dude, and you might be into something like you want to try something sexually, or you want to do something or extravagant or something. If you don't communicate that to the other person, you're going to suppress those feelings so long that you start to search for them in other aspects of life.
Okay.
Maybe online, maybe on OnlyFans, maybe in the real world of like actually trying to do something crazy or kinky or whatever the fuck you might be into. But like where I am and like with my relationship, I'm like, dude, hey, like just open. If you ever for some odd reason want something that you might be a little awkward or think like, man, I don't know if he'd be into that.
So
you got to tell me first, dude.
So basically, your wife has asked you if you want to be pegged, and you were like,
as long as it's not gay.
We're not going down that road.
That's exit only.
No.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing entering me.
What I meant by sometimes you can't just be you is like if your wife wants to go, like my wife likes to go to Winners. Winners is like it's like a Target.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to fucking go to winter. I don't want to go. But
Going.
we're married. It's fucking almost 20 years. I'm gonna go to fucking winters. I don't want to go. I don't want to put on nice. I don't want to put on nice clothes. I want to go in my jogging pants.
So that's a bullet point, Fouad. You got to do shit you don't want to do.
That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You got to do shit.
Ben don't break.
I think there's a bit of like,
yeah.
I think there's like a little bit of like, like emotional compromise. You know.
Yes, that's right.
Like I think compromise is the word for it. And I think it extends obviously far past just like doing things you don't want to do, but like just in a relationship, it's like there's so much compromise. But I don't think that needs to be looked at as like a negative thing of like, oh, like I'm not even getting to do the things I want to do. Like, you know, it's like, yeah, there's compromise in a relationship. And I think like, you know, stuff like that. It's like, you know, it's emotionally supporting her, giving time with her that she might want, but then you're like, oh, I'm tired. And then it'll be flip flop, you know?
Well, you can look at it two ways. I can look at it like, I don't want to fucking do this, but I can also look at it like, yeah, but she likes it. So I kind of feel
exactly.
Both.
That's the compromise. That's the compromise I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I watch The Bachelor.
Oh
yeah.
I gotta watch dating.
It's exactly why, Mike. Right?
Everybody has a love line.
I hate that show. I hate that show.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Sure you do.
I can't stand it. Is it on tonight?
Honey?
You taped it? Okay, cool.
DVR.
Okay. Let's see. Does Paul give more points to the handsome guys while judging shows?
No, I'm unbiased. Looks, I don't look at faces when I judge.
Seth, have you ever heard of Paul's?
I don't see faces.
I don't.
You might get it for me. You might sway your opinion. Paul looks for the most handsome bodybuilders.
It's not true. Seth. There's a misbelief out there that I do that. But,
a misbelief.
It's not true at all.
Misbelief.
Why do almost all pro bodybuilders rely on trainers when back in the 80s no one really used them? Well,
we're all better now. That's why.
I was going to say bodybuilders are 10 times more shredded than they were in the 80s.
Plus, that's not always true anyway.
Other than Rich Kaspari.
Yeah, I mean, we were literally just talking about Samson and James prepping themselves for the Arnold. But I mean, yeah, I think a good coach is just the smart thing to do in many ways. You know, I think relinquishing, you know, like taking your head out of it in a lot of ways can be very handy. And I mean, I think it's like people talk about it in bodybuilding sometimes, like in this, like, oh, guys didn't used to, and it's weird and stuff. But when you look at literally every single other sport, they work with coaches, like whether it's football, basketball, track and field, they have strength and conditioning coaches. They have this, they have speed and agility coaches. They have 5 different freaking coaches. They have nutritionists. You know, we got one coach. They'll have like 4, you know? So it's weird in bodybuilding for some reason when some people talk about, but in every other sport, it's like the most normal thing, you know?
Okay, 2 questions. Seth, have you ever seen A Million Miles Away?
Don't watch it.
No one's seen that.
Don't waste 2 hours of your life.
Okay.
How good is The Gentleman, though?
Wait. Good. Before you don't watch it, Seth, don't listen to these. None of these guys have seen it. And it's a very American story, by the way. You'll appreciate it.
I've been on this podcast several times now, and this has come up every single time.
You have to watch. I gotta get somebody to watch it.
Nobody watch your astronaut.
The next plane ride I take, I'm watching.
Please, okay.
Right? The next plane ride I take.
Lee Priest said he tried to watch it on a plane, and he said he wanted to jump out the plane after 10 minutes.
Right, I'm not watching it on a
plane. Okay, so the question is: have a hard-on that doesn't go away for 24 hours during a family reunion.
You can tuck it. That's fine.
Or jeans.
Or watch A Million Miles Away.
I'll take the boner.
Have the boner for sure.
Come on, fuck you guys, man.
I'll work down. You can't see it.
I can just pull the tuck, and then when I get home after with Melissa, I'm like, I'm ready to go.
You know how many people have watched that movie that are like, man, those guys are so wrong about this movie. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine what the demographic is.
They were all Arabs and Mexicans. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what's the demographic of that is?
Fucking colonizers. Mike, The Gentleman, absolutely amazing.
So good. Yeah.
It's a Guy Ritchie show, Seth, on Netflix.
I watched. Yeah. Oh no, I haven't watched the show yet. I like the movie.
Guy Ritchie. Yeah, The Gentleman, the movie's good too. But the Guy Ritchie movies, Snatch and Lock, Stock. Is it Lock, Stock, and Two Barrels?
He's got a ton of good.
Yeah, those two are fucking. It's kind of along that same feeling, but it's 8 episodes or whatever. It's
British gangster world, like
Is the movie and the TV tied together?
No,
kind of. They deal with weed, both of them. The weed industry.
Paul said to me that my credibility for movies is coming back, and then I said to him, "Name one fucking movie that I told you to watch that you didn't like," and he couldn't name one.
No, there was one. There was one.
No, there wasn't. You couldn't name one.
I forget.
Beekeeper.
I was.
Beekeeper.
You
I
liked
won't.
Beekeeper. You said you liked Beekeeper. Mike, you liar.
didn't
You
watch it.
wrote your text. You're like, I like Beekeeper. Fuck.
delete that text.
I deny that. I deny that.
No, there was a movie for what you told me to watch a little while ago, and it wasn't very good.
Well, if
it was
you
okay.
can't
It was
think,
just
if you
okay
can't
at
think of the
best.
name, you're making that up.
I'd have to ask the wife. I think I watched
All
it
right,
with her.
all right, that's the wife. Okay. Last question. You are armed with a knife and a spear. You are fighting an army of one of every land animal on Earth, but you get to pick 100 of the same animal to fight alongside you with what? Fuck, skip this
What
question.
the
That's
fuck?
complicated. Yeah.
This is too complicated.
Well,
Let's move
complicated.
on. Let's see. For Paul, no question here, but it's currently 24 degrees and overcast in Melbourne.
Nice.
Jealous. I'm jealous. Shitty here. Well, actually, it's not bad here at all right now.
Let's see. Who do you guys think would be? No, we already answered that for Samson. What's something you wish you all would have done? Nope. 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 How many of your 12-year-old selves could you take in a fight at the same time?
Currently?
12. Probably 8, 6 to 8.
That many, eh?
16.
But no way for that.
16.
No, I was pretty feisty. I was pretty feisty.
I was a
at that
fucking beanpole. I had a like.
Yeah, but my cardio is probably so much better than it is now. Eventually, they get me. I think like the first wave I'd deal with easily. I'd start to get tired on the third wave. So like if it came waves like 2, 3, by like 9, 8 to 10, I'd be getting tired.
Yeah,
I
under
got-
10.
I got
Under
5
10.
tops.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, last question for Ian and Mike. Do you know how to? Oh, this is really serious. Do you guys want to finish with a serious one? Okay, no.
What was serious in what regards? About training or what's it about?
Training.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
All right.
Oh God.
Do you know?
I still want the option to deny this after I hear it though.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. This is what we're gonna finish with. I apologize. I'm a bad fucking friend.
No, we can do that in another podcast. That's fine.
Just shut up. I wanted to share this and I forgot to because Ian wasn't here at the start, and I just remembered because we're talking about training. Ian surprised us all with this new endeavor, because all of you guys know how smart he is with training and analyzing physiques and eating. So Ian is coming out with his own app. It's called Phonetic. What is the are you partners with anybody on it, or are the partners behind the scenes? Like, tell us something.
Yeah, the partners are behind the scenes right now. They're the guys that are. It's actually a guy I went to high school with. That owns a marketing firm and an AI applications firm. So we kind of got together. I hadn't spoken to him since high school, and we kind of got together about a product he'd actually built for another guy. And he was looking for like celebrity trainers to be on this app, and he kind of put the guy in contact with me, and I saw the guy's app. I'm like, yeah, it's not really something that interests me, but so I saw what he had built for this guy, and it really like kind of piqued my interest of like, wow, this is like cool.
Yeah.
How they put things together and using the AI in certain applications on the back end of the app fascinated me. So we kind of had a conversation and we paired up. So it is a full team of like marketing guys, and I'm not white labeling this product from like a playbook or anything. I'm literally building this app from the ground up, completely programming it, everything. This isn't like most of them that are someone else's app that's been like transformed. We literally built this in every single square inch of it.
I like that you have the recipes on the one side and or not on the one side, but on like one page, and then you have training on another. Like, it's not just because most of the apps you see are just training.
No, we're gonna have both. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I like it. So what are we expecting? How much is it gonna cost? When's it released? Like, what do we tell me more?
Yeah, it's gonna cost. It's probably gonna be about $10 a month, or then deals. Obviously, if you sign up for like 6.
Fuck that. No, I'm just joking.
I'll give you a free login, but everyone else pays.
Okay. $4.99. I'll bet $4.99 is the max.
Yeah,
10% off.
Yeah,
$10. I think we're doing $50 for 6 months or $90 for a year.
That's good.
Is it built to like a certain spec, or how does it work? Like, are you programming it for like a certain goal, or how does it go? Or is it just like people plug in what they're doing?
No, so there's a pretty extensive questionnaire. And then what we're doing, like how I said, so we have an AI like that we're using on the back end of it, but then I'm training the AI in the confines of what I want it to program. So like we give it a full list of exercises of whatever thousands of exercises that I've approved and go down. And then in terms of like, say, for someone that's in this level of training, I'm giving the confines of what the style of training I want, the rep ranges, the level of volumes, and then how they would progress from there. And then the AI can program within those confines. And same for nutrition. So we're using, exactly like that.
So can we do a run with me on training?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Bodybuilding training right now. I'm in it, so I'd love to.
He wants to be your guinea pig.
I want to do.
Of course, when we get this up and running, like so that the AI is all plugged in, which will be this week to have like we did our alpha testing for like just the working model of the actual app without the AI plugged in the back, because I still need to train it more. Like it can program, but not as well as we like yet. Like it's still untrained, So then we teach it more. We get it to generate programs. We kind of see what it does. We adjust, and then I narrow it in until like, okay, these programs all make sense based off like the confines that I would like.
Yeah, dude. If you want guinea pig for it or anything,
so I'll get you when I have it. I'll send you the thing so you can download it like on a private thing, and you run through it and just give me all your feedback. I'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be sick, dude. That's awesome. Like I was the
more people I can get trying it beforehand, the better,
Well, yeah, I can get really fat and start it and then get
do that.
Do a transformation.
Seth can do it. Seth can do it to get huge. You can do it to get skinny, so we can input like different goals.
I'm kind of like Seth. I'll grow into it too.
No, you'll be the same. You're the
same. Paul can put in that he wants to grow some arms, and
No, but look, man, that's really cool because after competing, people are like, "What am I going to do? Am I going to start a supplement company? Am I going to open a nutrition store? Am I going to fucking?"
Yeah. It's just one of those things, one of those things to kind of create, like an income stream for life after bodybuilding, but also something that I'm like interested in and passionate about,
But this is a big deal. It's better. Like to me, this is like you have a ton of coaching experience. You've coached, Mr. Olympias, but like,
I want to obviously preface this that I'm not giving on personal coaching on the app.
No. I know that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's your knowledge. So what I'm saying is now people have access to your fucking knowledge in this fucking app, which is awesome. It's a way for you to give it out to a broad spectrum of people,
Yeah. And then, what our ultimate goal for this app is, which we're looking into the viability of how much back end it will take to train the app, is to have the AI be able to assess form on exercises. So like basically is like an assessment tool. So like you can upload a video of you doing a squat, and then I'm setting the confines of the angles of the joints and things that I think are optimal for, say you're trying to do squats, but you want to target your quads. Like the angles you want at the knee versus the, at the hip and things. We can train the AI to be like a vision tool that will watch certain exercises and then give you feedback on your form.
That's fucking incredible, man.
So the amount of data points you need to like plug into an AI to get it to like be able to do that is like for every exercise, you're talking like 10,000 plus, it's a lot.
So what is this like?
Obviously, you need to like have a working app to generate income to get, to do that. So,
how long have you been working on this so far?
2 months.
And it probably takes you like a couple hours a day, every day to plug in this information.
Yeah, well, it's like different stuff every day. So like whether it's doing, different stuff with the marketing or different stuff with the AI stuff or different stuff with filming content that we need for it, and obviously we want to be able to have, like a complete video library,
right.
Like an amount of filming.
Right.
So like stuff like that, I have a lot of work to do. So, we're release date, we're aiming for, sometime late spring, early summer is kind of when we're looking for you.
Well, there's nothing out there right now. What I was getting at was there's nothing out there right now that is like this. Like people are
there's only one. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's my shit is filled with more videos of this, more videos, Seth, more whiteboard workouts. And it's like, well, there's nothing that is like, to get information that's free is very difficult to do so. So the fact that you're creating this, you're training an AI to do this, like the whole AI thing, it fascinates the shit out of me because it is insane. And you can train it to do certain things, like you can help build its brain.
Well, and the good thing about using an AI in this kind of application, which makes it obviously a lot of work, but is also very cool, is like the way these AI modules work is that they're like adaptive. So the more someone uses the app and the more they like fill in it and they're like, use it every day to log their meals, log their workouts, they learn. right?
Yes.
Like they literally can be like, okay, this is the data. We're getting more data, more data. You can be more accurate, more accurate, more accurate the more you use it. And it can be more tailored to you the longer you use the app, right?
And a lot of people can't afford big time coaches. Who can afford $200, $300 a month from like if they're an amateur trying to learn at a certain level?
If we wanted to, and that's kind of why the name is like not something like, you know, Ivy League training or Ian whatever's, you know, I wanted to keep it so it's like this can be something that outgrows me, you know, like something that everyone, like whether you're just like a dad that like wants to fucking train at home and you need an app to like help you with your nutrition and training. This isn't like they're going to alienate those kind of people. So I didn't want to make it a name that I will outgrow. I want it to be something that can be, you know, bigger than that at some point, you know?
Well, and that's why I was saying I find it fascinating with the AI, because a lot of times it's a plug and play app. Like, and all the plug and play apps that you see, you're like, like, I don't know. Like, it's just like, I'm not going to pay this money and it's going to just kind of be this dead in the water cookie cutter type concept. But with an AI, if you're training it for it, like that's some fascinating shit. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, buddy. I'm like, we're all looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be a huge success. And before we wrap that part up, I just want to say, you said people can sign up for early sign up for it.
A wait list, like the email wait list, so you can get information about shit that, you know, when our release dates are and when other stuff. The link's right there on the homepage.
So the link is right here. Those of you who are listening on audio, it's on Ian's Instagram profile. It's phonetic.app, and it takes you to a waitlist page where you can put in your full name and email.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, congratulations, buddy. I hope it's a fucking huge success.
Thank you.
Paul, you want to show Seth what you're made of with the prayer or what?
Well,
Paul's
Seth would like to take
Seth,
the
Paul said
be insulted or anything.
Paul said he's been practicing his prayers.
I never said that. I never said that.
He knew you were coming on, and he wanted to.
They see me getting
I should have practiced
worse.
The capital of the 50 states a little better before I came on too.
That was fun though, Seth. I'd like to do that again sometime.
Yeah, I'm gonna study. I'm gonna make sure that I don't
do it again. We'll do it again next week.
Next week, sure. I'd love to do that. We'll tackle. What we do? We went through about 20 there, didn't we?
No, 10. Well, yeah, we went through about 20 to get to 10.
So we got about 30 left to go through.
Okay, Paul, lead us off. We all got to go.
Okay, well, I'll do my best here. Dear leader, let's bow our heads. Dear leader, as we enter this next few days here, gonna be flying to England. Pretty excited about that. Gonna see a lot of you guys there. It's a big opportunity to judge, you know, some of the best bodybuilders in the world, one of the biggest shows in the world, and
is this self like promotion?
Yeah, sorry for that. I'm gonna make this a little bit more selfish.
Didn't you do this last week?
I'm gonna include you guys. Don't worry, I'm gonna include you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, and I want to wish continued success to all the guys, all their business endeavors and other things in their lives. Ian with his new exciting business, Seth with his great supplement company, Fouad with yours, and Mike with your training. You know, continued success to everybody, and it's gonna be a good week. And God save the Queen. Little English twist.
He was waiting to drop that one.
That's good. I like that.
Good night, everybody.
Nice touch.
Good night.
All right, see you guys.